welcome back to the Football Terrace. Liverpool's first game back after, of course, the stoppage in the season for CV19. It's the Merseyside derby, an opportunity for Liverpool to take one step closer to lifting their first ever Premier League title and their first league title in 30 years. We're live for a big build-up. We want to hear from you on the Skype chat right now. Going to keep you updated as well. Chelsea currently winning 2-1, thoroughly deserved after being 1-0 down. Excellent comeback so far from them. But we want to hear from you. We want to know what you're thinking, what you're feeling. We're live, of course, on YouTube and on Hot Mic as well. Get it downloaded as well. We'll do the synchronization in a few moments with that, so you can sync your TVs in. We'll get that done a little bit later. But I want to know what's going through your minds. Team news will be in very, very soon. The expected lineup is currently on the screen right now. That's what we expect. That's what we expect the team to be. Certainly what I expect it to come out as. Liverpool will play their strongest 11 for this game, in my very, very humble opinion. And look, there's no love lost between me and Liverpool. I'm a Manchester United fan. However, we're not a salty channel. We're not a biased channel. We're here to give true, honest opinions, and we'll review the game in that way. So if you don't want to listen to biased fans just always praising, or you don't want to listen to salty fans that are always having a go, make sure you stick with us. The most important thing to do is to hit the like button and hit the share button for us, and get this out there on your Facebooks, your Twitter accounts. Get your friends and family involved as well. Why do I support Man United? It's really quite simple. There isn't any sort of... there's no real sort of reason other than the fact that that's just who I decided to support from when I was a kid. Like, it was just... I remember, like, being a kid, I just... Like, well, who am I going to support? I picked Man United. My grandmother bought me a shirt for whatever reason. I have no idea why she bought me a white Man United kit. And I picked them. That was it. There's no real story to it. No real story to it as well. Terry, what's your score prediction? Honestly, I think Everton are in trouble tonight. I think Everton are in absolute dire trouble. They're done. Liverpool, I was reading earlier that Liverpool in the last 18 Premier League meetings between the two of them, Everton haven't won any. And that's since 2010. It's been a decade. You know, a lot of Everton fans I've seen giving Liverpool stick for one reason or another. Oh, no league title in this long, no this, no that. I mean, they've not been any better. I don't think Everton have won a trophy in that time period. I might be slightly wrong. Maybe they got something in the early 90s, but my memory says they haven't. You know, they haven't beaten Liverpool in the Premier League for a decade. A decade. That's embarrassing. You know, even when Man City were an absolutely god-awful team, they still every now and then beat Man United. I don't think they went 10 years without beating us in a league game. I think Man City may have been in the Premier League, got relegated, spent years out of it, and got back into the Premier League and beaten us more times in that period than Everton have beaten Liverpool. There's just no chance. And it's 6 of the last 7 Premier League meetings between Everton and Liverpool at Goodison Park have ended in draws. Everton have got no chance. Almost no chance of winning this game, in my opinion. Absolutely none. None whatsoever. James here said, Terry, it's not about this game, but what if City still get their ban in the Champions League and it stays this way, and we finish 5th? Do we get Champions League? Yes, my understanding is that the Champions League spot will go to the team that finishes in 5th place. You can't rely on that because it's exceedingly likely that City will get their ban overturned, in my opinion. They shouldn't, but I feel like it's going to happen. I really, really do. In relation to this game, Mark Davis is it here. They're dead already. They are. I was looking at some little bits and pieces here. So it's like Liverpool complete on average 6.98. So basically 7 counter-attacks a game that end in shots. And they concede 4 in that basis as an example, right? When I'm looking at Everton, they only make 2 counter-attacks per game that end in a shot. And they concede almost up to 6 against themselves. They are going to get, I think they might get opened up like a tin of beans anyway. But aside from that, truly I mean this, aside from that, if they try and attack Liverpool, Liverpool are going to pick them off. And even though Liverpool are going to be the aggressors, I think, Everton can't counter-attack. All season, they average 2 per game that end in a shot. So poor. It's really, really poor. Everton have got no chance, in my opinion. Jamie Walker here says, Terry, Everton could do anything. We didn't expect Watford to beat Liverpool 3-0. No, we didn't. But, you know, lightning very rarely strikes twice. It very rarely strikes twice. You know, Chelsea were 1-0 down. I wasn't celebrating. Why? Because I knew what was going to happen. I knew what was going to happen. It's the teams at the bottom seldom beat the better sides. It's such a rarity. It's such a rarity. The only time it normally goes their way is if they get a late goal. If it was 0-0 now and Aston Villa got the goal, then maybe. But there was too much time left and there's too much quality. And that's how I see the Merseyside derby. Yeah, on paper, anything can happen. But for a decade, it hasn't. So it's not going to change my mind. Look, I can end up being wrong and Everton pull off a madness. But no one in their right mind thinks Everton can do this. They haven't done it in 10 years. And by the way, Liverpool weren't always good in it that 10 years. And they still couldn't do it. Everton are a dead team. Everton have got nothing for Liverpool. They've got nothing for Liverpool. Not one little thing. Nothing. Not one little bit. Not one thing. Nothing. Let me know if the sound. Let me know if the sound comes through okay like this. Let me know, please, ladies and gentlemen. Let me. I want to know. Yeah, for me, they got nothing. Absolutely nothing. Purple Aki here says, only decent thing Everton have is Ancelotti. Facts remains for the players. They have been poor. They are. And look, Ancelotti is is without doubt a brilliant manager. I'm not even going to try and deny that. It'd be stupid to deny that. So I'm not going to do it. And maybe he can turn things round, but he isn't doing it today. Honestly, Liverpool are going to put in at least 3 goals today. At least 3 goals are going in the back of the net. It's going to happen. You know, and the team we're looking at on the screen right now is likely to be the lineup that's announced. It's going to come out in a few moments' time. Going to destroy. Absolutely destroy. Absolutely destroy him. No doubts in my, like, literally, you know, sometimes you sort of sit there in life and think, oh, maybe this, maybe, no. There is nothing about this game that makes me think there's any opportunity at all, for this to go the way of Everton. Not even one of those sort of, madness moments. Not even that. Terry put players' names on the screen. Why? You know their names. You know their faces. Maybe we'll add that. Maybe we'll add that later on down the line. We're always going to look to improve the graphics here as we've done all week. Probably the best graphics we've ever had on the channel. We're always going to look to get them better. Terry, they only beat us twice in a decade, from 2000 to 2010 as well. Exactly. So look, I mean, I didn't even know that. So Everton have beaten Liverpool twice in the Premier League in 20 years. And people want to make a case for them today? I'm sorry to sound rude. Shut up. I mean that. It's a nonsense. Imagine that. Imagine thinking they have a chance. 2 victories in 20 years against Liverpool in the Premier League. If I'm an Everton fan, I'm not even supporting my team for these games. I'm not even going to support my team. Your team have let you down for 20 years. And you go into it. What? It's mad. Like, you know, people are blind. Oh, William, that he scored there. I know people are blinded by love. You know, it's like those people who've got ugly children, but still tell people, oh, no, they're beautiful. To you, they're beautiful. And of course, and I'm not disrespecting your kid, But trust me, they're not Brad Pitt. They're not the Brad Pitt you think they are. You know, they're not the Beyonce you think they are. Not the David Gandy you think they are. You know, that's Everton fans. When it comes to this game, Everton fans are blinded by the love for their club. You have no chance. And Tom here says, come on, Terry, anything can happen in football. I'm not even being crass, as you put it. It's happened twice in 20 years. Bro. That's like playing the national lottery and sitting there on the Saturday evening truly thinking you're going to win it. Mad. Waste your time. Purple Aki back again says people need to stop comparing Ancelotti's record versus Klopp. He was at Napoli, a decent side. Everton are not. Oh, we've got a call coming through here by Josh, actually. Josh will get you on in just a second, Josh. He says Everton are not managed. Sorry, that's gone now, that comment. I missed it, but there we go. Everton's... Oh, I'm not reading that one out. We played Milner and Adrian, and the rest were pretty much kids, and they still couldn't beat us. Exactly. That was in the cup, wasn't it? Josh, welcome back to the show, mate. Everton versus Liverpool. What's your predictions for the game?
Man, I think that Everton could pull out a result today. I really hope they do, because if Liverpool win, don't they win the league today against Everton?
No, they need one more victory to do it.
One more? Oh, man. It kind of makes me sick, man, that Liverpool are actually going to win the league by over 20 points against Man United. It's very sad how far we've fallen, how far the mighty have fallen, man. It's disgusting. We need to do better next season, man. There's no way we should be this far behind Liverpool in any season. Very disgusting. I don't know how you feel.
I don't feel as strongly about it as you do, in the sense of I'm disappointed where Man United are, but we have to let go of that. Liverpool cannot be Manchester United's focus or yardstick in the short term. We need to focus upon ourselves in the sense of improving every individual area, recreating our culture, rebuilding ourselves. I think where Liverpool went right when Jurgen Klopp came in, there wasn't this necessity to do it overnight, and he made the fans believe in that. They stopped comparing themselves to their rivals that at the time were better than them, or, oh, this team's doing this and this team's doing that. And look, you know, Leicester are this small club and they've won the Premier League before we have. They just stayed in their lane. They did their work, and that's paid dividends. And I think that's what Man United need to do. I don't want Liverpool winning the league. I'm a rival fan. Yeah. But I don't lose any sleep, any energy, I have no issue with it. It doesn't derail what my club's doing, and I think we need to all be stronger as supporters of our own clubs than that.
Yeah. But I don't think the PE teacher is going to take us forward, man. I don't see where all these going to.
Why are you calling him a PE teacher?
Because that's what he is. He has basic tactics. It's like rec coaching. I've seen better tactics in rec. I don't really see where all these gonna progress our club. I don't see it. Same thing with Rashford. I still think he's overrated. Kane. I mean, I think all these players are overrated, man. These English people get hyped up so much, man. I don't get it. Maybe, I don't know, man. Every English player has like a 50 million plus tax on it. I don't get it. Like, plus price.
What is it about it that you don't get?
It's like, I don't get why they're so hyped up. I don't get the hype in them. I don't get the hype in Rashford. I don't get the hype on Kane. Kane did nothing against Man United, but people call him like one of the best strikers on the planet. I don't get it. Very average players.
So because he has one bad one.
No, he's had many bad games.
Yeah, but so the most. See, this is where I think there's a flaw in your logic, and maybe a lack of understanding of football in general here. And this is why you're making me feel this, as opposed to me believing it beforehand. The issue with a lot of what's being said by you is the fact that you're not understanding why there's a hype. Why there's, you watch football, but it sounds like you predominantly watch football from UK football, like Premier League football. The reason there's so much hype, and this is what I would say to any international fan of our league. By the way, the Liverpool team has just been announced. It's going to be now refreshed and put up onto the screen in front of you. Naby Keita starts. Minamino starts instead of Mo Salah. Robertson is dropped. Milner is in the team. Robertson isn't even on the bench today. Minamino starts to say Keita in the team for Gini as well. Matip and Milner in that defense, Alisson in goal. It's up on the screen for you now. So what I would say to your point is this. The reason that you will see a lot of attention towards English players in the English game is because there's a national interest. So the majority of viewers, for instance, if you watch Match of the Day, the vast majority of the people tuning in to watch Match of the Day on a Saturday evening will be British stroke English because it's a British show. Thousands, hundreds, millions of people that are watching it don't care about Man United. What they do care about is how the English players in those teams are progressing. When it comes to, if you ever watch the World Cups, for instance, and you watch British TV's coverage, it'll be half time and they'll spend 5 to 10 minutes talking about the game that's on, Spain-Germany, or in the build-up, it'll be an hour's build-up, and they'll speak half an hour about that game. But each day, they'll go and do a big segment on what England are up to. The reason they do that is because their core audience cares about that. And I think we're a lot of fans of our game, and I love the fact we've got fans from all around the world, but you don't care about what England are doing or the English players like the English do. The issue is you're watching English television shows where the vast majority of the audience do. So you have to deal with that. If I was to watch Premier League coverage that came out of Spain, I wouldn't expect to see a great deal of attention towards the English players. I would expect more attention towards the Spanish contingent that are playing there and vice versa. I bet when they show Premier League, I've watched a lot of American coverage of the Premier League. They very rarely talk about the English players in the same way, even though they've got English presenters, as they do when it's an English television show. And that's just because of national interest. It makes complete sense to me. You know, for instance, what country celebrated Ighalo signing for Man United the most? It was Nigeria. Why? Because he's Nigerian. That's all it comes down to. That's where the hype comes from. And the reason the media hype the player up is because they want to cause a frenzy within the country, not just in the Man United fan base or the Liverpool fan base. They want supporters. I'm going to name clubs. Have you heard of Plymouth Argyle and Leyton Orient and Dagenham and Redbridge? Right? All these clubs have thousands of supporters. How you get them interested in Premier League football is by hyping up the next big English talent that might win us the World Cup. Then they go, oh, I'm going to watch it because there's something in it for me. And that's why it's done, mate. And the reason why the money's there, why they're more expensive, is because they're more marketable in the UK because there's the English connection. That's all it comes down to. If people study the marketability and the commercial aspects of the game, all the overhyping of the so-called English players makes sense. Thus, then you're never annoyed by it. And that's the problem that people have.
Okay. I mean...
How often in American sports do they focus on... How often when you're watching an American sport are they focusing on how the English players in that sport are doing?
Never.
Because there's no national interest. But let me tell you this: if there was a British or English NFL player, the UK's coverage of the game would focus on that player a lot more than anybody else. Because it's this guy's one of us. We want to know what he's doing. That's the way it works. You know, people often say things like, "Oh, there was a terrible incident that happened in some remote part of an African nation or some small town in Pakistan somewhere. Why isn't it on like national British news?" Because there isn't an interest in that. And it doesn't mean the public wouldn't want to hear about it. The news channel are there to make money. And it's like, well, people are not interested in that story, so we're not going to play it. You know, it's all about marketability and commerciality. You know, imagine I don't cover Everton and Liverpool tonight and I cover some obscure game in Austria. What would be the point? My viewers don't care about that game, so why would I talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, they just like they focus on Pulisic in the U.S., just like this guy consolidated. That is true. Yeah. They hype him up, and he's okay, but I mean,
but that's it. So ignore what you've got to look at is wherever the hype's coming from. Like, relax, because you know they're doing it because they're trying to sell viewers. Like, we all know that Rashford's very good. We all know he's a very good player. He's a good player. But he gets spoken about more in England. If you watch coverage of the Premier League in 20 different countries, they won't focus on him as much. Every now and then you get a phenom like a David Beckham where the world falls in love with him. But yeah, I really wouldn't let it bother you. And I see too many fans of the Premier League get angry or frustrated or annoyed that the English players get more attention than, say, a French player. It's just so normal. It's so normal.
What are your thoughts on Nicolas Pepe for 72 million? I think he's overrated, man. He hits one banger every 4 games, and people think he's good. So, well, Arsenal fans think he's good when Dan James is better than him.
This is what
So,
you think Dan James is better.
yeah, he is. He is, and we spent way less on him. He's better than him.
Wow.
Come on, man.
Yeah, listen, look, for me,
Arsenal are finished. But,
yeah, listen, I think Pepe is very talented. I think the club's in a lot of trouble, and that causes the problems there. Aston Villa on a counter-attack here. Jack Grealish through the middle. He's badly fouled there. He's badly fouled. There's going to be a free kick here with a minute to go. Can Aston Villa pull something off? I don't know if they can. There's a comment here from...
Grealish?
There's a comment. Is Grealish another one who winds you up?
No, I love Grealish, man. I really hope he comes to United. I like people like him, and I like people who go into tackles, who track back. Just like Van der Beek. I like people like that. Those are my type of players. I like those players that'll go in for those fouls. You need those type of players in your team to get far. But, yeah.
Yeah. No, I understand that. And everyone's going to have a preference. What do you think so I want to ask you a question about today's game, though. Why do you think, what is it about this game today? Why are Everton going to do something? Like, as I said to you before, they've won twice in 20 years against Liverpool in the Premier League. Why is today the day?
Because, they could win the league. So, I think Everton are really going to be up for it, no matter how bad they are. They're really going to put in a fight. They're going to put in challenges. They're gonna stick it on them. I think Everton could win this game, but, I hate Liverpool. I really hope they lose. I hate them with a passion.
I get that. Mate, listen, I appreciate you coming on, having your say. We'll chat to you again soon. Take care, mate. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, man.
Top man. Yeah, listen, I know a lot of people get frustrated by the hype around British players. If you're going to watch a game that's based in England, you're going to have to accept that there's a national interest in the English players that are there. If you can't handle that, I would say don't watch it. Free kick here to Aston Villa. What's going to happen from this? It's a decent attempt, but it's straight at the goalkeeper. Well hit. That's the end of the game. Chelsea get the 3 points, opening up that gap at the top now. Is it a 5-point gap at the top? At the bottom of the top 4 they now have. Big games for them on the way, though. City, Leicester on the horizon. That's going to be where the hope is. That's where the hope's going to be for Manchester United to get back into this race. But there we go. Jack Grealish gets himself booked there. Naughty. The super chat here that says, by the way, Terry Tibbs was calling on Skype. Call back now, mate. We'll get you on. This is from Vishak, who says, excited from Minamino today. I understand that. I understand it completely. We had Silver Spring, who said they do focus on Pulisic a lot in the US. Of course they do, because there's a national interest. Terry Tibbs, welcome back to the show. What do you want to say, mate?
Going on, mate. Just want to say, I can't believe that American fans just been ringing up calling Harry Kane overrated and stuff like that. And Rashford, I'm a Liverpool fan, and all you do is look at the stats. This is what I don't understand and this is no offence to any international fans and that, but if you're going to be a fan of football, look at all the facts. It's like someone saying in the comments there about Ancelotti's record versus Klopp, but yeah, he was a manager in Napoli, a decent side, Koulibaly, players like that, Mertens who can create chances. Who've Everton got? Richarlison. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's comparing apples with a piece of chalk. It is ridiculous comparisons. I don't. The Rashford and Kane being overhyped thing, it's just nonsense. What Rashford is doing at his age, again, it isn't like the most amazing thing since sliced bread, but it's still fairly unprecedented for players of his age to be scoring the volume of... he still has more goals at his age from a wide position than Thierry Henry and Cristiano Ronaldo had. Now, I'm not suggesting he's going to get to their level, but it demonstrates how good the start to his career has been. And Harry Kane... a lot of people think he's on the decline now, maybe so. But the man banged over 20...
He's just come back from an injury, though. Give the man a chance, do you know what I mean? We're talking about Harry Kane here, who scored over 200 goals in the Premier League, do you know what I mean?
I know, and he did... I know.
On his way in Shearer's record, do you know what I mean?
I know.
He's overrated and overhyped. I'm not better than any other football fan, and I don't profess to be. But one thing that does me head on this show with football fans is they'll ring up and they'll have rose-tinted glasses on, and they'll make an opinion in their mind based off 1 or 2 games. And you can't do that if you're a football fan. Look at statistics, look at games, look at the last 5 years of a striker's career, and tell me that someone's overrated. It's the same thing with boxing. You can't knock the likes of De La Hoya because they get knocked out at the age of 45 and go, oh, he's terrible. What have he done beforehand?
Mate, I hear you, bro. What I've seen a lot with football fans in recent times is, I'll give you an example. So, I'm confident that Man United are going to start to improve now. But I equally said that, you know, we need to give it a few games in this restart for us to. There'll be scrappiness in terms of what we do. Our first game back was away at Tottenham, which isn't a simplistic game when Jose Mourinho is in charge. And yet, some people straight away, absolutely, no, Ollie, no plan, no tactics, nothing, he's done. I'm thinking, you're not going to give him a couple of games for the team to find their stride, for Bruno and Pogba to create a relationship. You just want it. Everyone wants it instantly. And Rashford can go 4 or 5 games scoring goals. He has one game where he doesn't. He's a bum. You see it with Liverpool. You know, I literally watch games where Trent might not get an assist, and I see rivals of Liverpool jumping. Oh, see, he ain't that great. He ain't that good. He just hits and hope. It's like, you people are off your head. Judge someone over a 3 to 4 year period. And on the Harry Kane situation, I just looked at it here, right? In 2015, 16, 17, 18, he scored over, it got better every year as well. 21 league goals, 25 league goals, 30 league goals, 30. I think only Thierry Henry and Sergio Aguero, they're the only other 2 players in 30 years of Premier League football which has seen hundreds of strikers playing it, where somebody scored over 20 league goals a season, 4 years on the bounce.
About 2 or possibly the greatest strikers that ever graced a football.
Exactly. Well. It's so. I mean, you think about how good. Look at how good Robbie Fowler was, Michael Owen was, Andy Cole was, Dwight York, Ian Wright. You can name. You know, we can throw out loads more names. Fernando Torres, all these players. None of them. Bergkamp. None of them hit 4 years on the bounce, scoring over 20 league goals. None of them. And by the way, all of those players I mentioned, I think, played in superior teams to the Tottenham one. Like, they were better teams, and he still did it. To say he's overrated is just, I just find it to be.
Like my stepbrother, for instance, right, is a massive Man United fan, and the argument I have with him, because he's part of the Ollie Out Brigade, and I turned around and I said to him, you've got a man learning his trade still. You've got a man who's in a league with the best managers on the planet Earth. He's going to get it wrong. He's still learning his trade. He's still learning his tactics. He's still learning about his players, which way they want to play. It's like getting an apprenticeship plumber and putting him in, you know, in a job what requires a plumber with 40 years experience, and going, do your best with that, mate. He's still learning his trade. It's going to take time. Don't get me wrong. Do I think Ollie's going to be the man to take us back to the glory days? No, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't. I think he's need a more experienced manager. And what I mean by that is I think you need a manager that can get the best out of Pogba and can get the best out of Bruno and get the best out of Rashford. I don't think Ollie's the man for that. I think he's a great mascot for Man United fans because obviously he's a Man United legend. But in the same breath, it'd sort of be nice to see him given that time, because that's been Man United's problem over the past 5-6 years, to get a manager in like Van Gaal, like Mourinho, like Moyes, and they don't give them time. They expect instant results, and when they don't get them, they go, right, let's move on, and they panic, because there's all fans out there who literally jump on the brigade of, get them out now, get them out now. And the club listens to the fans, and it's evident that they listen to the fans. As far as I'm concerned, give someone time. I don't think Ollie's going to do it personally. I really don't. But again, it'd be nice to give him the time and to say, well, do you know what? At least he tried.
Mate, do you know what's right about what you say there? And obviously, it's Everton Liverpool today. When I look at this Liverpool team now, Klopp would have achieved something whenever he'd taken over from Liverpool. But the fact that if he'd have taken over when Rodgers did, it may have taken him longer. The fact
Steve Paulson in midfield, do you know what I mean?
Exactly. It would have. You know, it's a process. The reason Klopp is, I think Jurgen Klopp has taken it to next levels. But there was a foundation that was built for me by SFG and by Rodgers that enabled him to build. And by the way, your squad has still had dramatic work done on it since then, because of course you lost Suarez and you lost Raheem Sterling, amongst others. Gerrard was at the end of his career, or he might have already gone by the time Klopp came in. I think
Carragher was at the end of his
career. Of course.
Yeah.
So there still needs to be a rebuild. But what you'd built is an ethos, and what you'd built is a culture, and Klopp just took it to the next level. And I've said to a few people recently, the reason I'm backing Ollie is because I think we might be the stage before our Jurgen Klopp, where someone needs to rebuild what we are before we can jump to the next standard. On tonight's game, mate, I wanted to, obviously Liverpool moments away really from winning their first Premier League title.
I'm going to get absolutely smashed when we do as well.
I bet, mate.
Yeah, go on. What was your question?
Yeah. I mean, tonight's game? I've made absolutely zero case. I cannot see in a month of Sundays Everton doing anything today. They haven't beaten you. They've beaten you twice in 20 years in the Premier League. Do you have any concerns about them at all tonight?
Nah, not really. Everyone has a bogey team, and unfortunately for Everton, their biggest city rivals is their bogey team, which is us. We absolutely smash Everton 9 times out of 10 every time we play them. I think the best thing that Everton did was get an Ancelotti. I think for the calibre of players that they've got,
Yeah.
the likes of Sigurdsson and all stuff like that. Where did that Idrissa Gueye even go? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were touting him as the next Kante and all stuff like that, and they just can't get the calibre of players in and that they want, because Everton are not a great club. They're not a great side anymore. And I'm not just saying that because, I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm speaking facts. When's the last time they won a trophy? 1995. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's got to come to a point where you've got to stop saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go back to the old times where we won 9 league titles." And probably the best team that I've ever seen Everton have is when they had Neville Southall in goal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, that was a great side. And what did they do? What did they achieve? Absolutely nothing. They achieved nothing. And now they're coming in with a side that's probably had about 400 plus million spent on it. And they are piss poor, pardon me French. They are poor. They're a proper poor side.
Yeah, they are.
For the money that they've spent and the investment that they've had, I mean, I'd even go as far as to say is Newcastle are a better side than them, and Newcastle are absolutely poor.
Yeah, the thing with Everton is I kind of feel they're a bit, we're the fan that called up before, and I disagree completely with his kind of breakdown of as you did with these sort of thoughts around the overhyped players. But he also said something along the lines of how much it's paining him to see Liverpool do well. And I get that as rivals, it does. But it was a different kind of pain that he was expressing to me. It's like he really cares about what you're doing. And I think Everton are in that space where all that goes through Everton's mind is, what's Liverpool doing? What's Liverpool doing? And I think it's an unhealthy way to try and build yourself as a football club, or build yourself. If you're a person, you're trying to better your life. If you're trying to better your life and improve your business, improve your career, whatever it is. If you're focusing on your next door neighbor or your brother or your old best mate who you think's doing better than you, all that's going to happen is you're going to remain unhappy. You're never going to become the success you want to be because you're too focused on everybody else. And Everton just need to stop buying trash players. I think they need to just... I don't even want to say it disrespectfully. They've just got to get in their lane.
They need a total rebuild. They need to sell everyone they've got at that club and totally rebuild it. T-Rex Arms in goal. He's not going to do nothing, him. Do you know what I mean? He is absolutely awful. I want Henderson in as England #1 before him. 100%. Henderson is he's going to be a steal for a top 6 club, him. I think he deserves to be at a top 6 club. He's a great keeper.
Well, I think you might see him in the Man United goal at some point in the next year to 18 months because
I hope not.
You hope not?
Yeah, I hope not, because I rate him highly. I think he's a quality keeper. I think he really is a quality keeper. And the thing is, what my dad used to say to me is, there's no such thing as Everton fans. That's just a group of people who support whoever Liverpool is playing. That's it. There's no such thing as an Everton fan. They just support every team who's Liverpool's playing, because they do. You watch them on Twitter, you watch them on Instagram, and every time Liverpool are playing, they're like, I hope these get beat, I hope they get battered. And I've got mates on my Facebook tonight saying, I hope we kick shite out of them and all stuff. And I'm like, it's a football game, do you know what I mean? And it's just, my dad was right, there's no such thing as an Everton fan. It's a group of people who support whoever's Liverpool's playing. And that's the way it is.
I hear that. Do you know what I find interesting about it? Like, I've got no love lost when it comes to Liverpool, and I get it. But what I always find is, and City have kind of come good because of the money they've spent, as an example. But I just find like Man City fans, Everton fans, Tottenham fans are in this space for a long time as well when it comes to the Arsenal situation. Everything they say is just petty. It's just petty. Yeah. It's almost like, do you get what I mean? Do you know what they're like? I'll give you an example, an analogy. They're the Yorkshire Terrier barking at the pit bull.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's all it is.
I've got no time for Man City fans. I don't really speak to them on that level. I don't consider them football fans at all. You've only piped up in the last 10 years when you got took over by an oil baron. Do you know what I mean? And you were able to spend money and break FFP rules, and then you sit there like you've been the greatest club for the last 50 years. Do me a favour. I remember the times when you were getting battered by Middlesbrough at the Etihad 6-0. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Man City fans wind me up more than any fan base. They absolutely wind me up.
Well, I think what there is between Man United and Liverpool fans, there is pure hatred in some elements, but there's this. I do think there is this.
Respect there, though.
There is. I think there is a respect. Definitely.
Both clubs are the epitome of what to do to win the league. Do you know what I mean? Both clubs, even Liverpool, not so much now because we've spent money. I'll totally admit that, but we spent nowhere near as much as the likes of City or Chelsea. City and Chelsea got took over by two rich sugar daddies and got instant success because they could throw money about. Do you honestly think they would get anywhere near? For instance, if Man United in their prime, Liverpool in their prime, went after Sergio Aguero and David Silva, and we could pay the same money as City, and we could pay the same wages as City, do you honestly think any of them players back then, when deciding, would have went to Manchester City? No, not a chance. The club's got absolutely nothing about it. No history, no nothing. The thing that City had at the time, they could pay absolutely astronomical wages to players, and that was it. That was it. And obviously, people are going to go where the money was. You know, if I got offered an extra £100,000 a week to do the same thing every week, I'd obviously take it. But it's like if Maplin Electronics offered me £100 a week to go and work in their store, or PC World offered me £100 a week to go and work in their store, I'd go to PC World because it's the bigger brand, it's the bigger company. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if United and Liverpool at the time went for Aguero and went for Silva and they were in the prime and we could pay the same money, they'd never go there. And I've always said that. Players chose City on the basis of the fact that they could spend astronomical wages. That's it. I challenge anyone in them comments to argue differently.
Mate, no, I hear you. I'm one of these fans, but I don't hate on them for the money they spent. But there's that element of like understand that, you know, what you did was inflated and you did and you got the success through money only. That there was it wasn't money that you generated through building a global fan base over a 50-60 year period. And that's fine. And I've got no issue with it, but understand that's why you are where you are.
Where you are, yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Yeah. That's the thing what City fans won't admit. If a City fan come up to me and went, yeah, fair play, you know, we got where we are through being invested, money, and we got the players at the time that, you know, were quality, I'd be fine with that. But it's when they try and argue the toss, and they're like, no, we're a great club and all that, we're a well-run business and all that. Listen, mate, you've just been slammed for FFP rules, because what you're doing is you're going out and spending all this money, and then your billionaire owners are pumping money into your club and signing it off as a sponsorship deal and pumping the money back into your club so they don't break FFP.
Yeah, and you know
that's a game.
Mate, and you know what? Just crazy about it? We had a guy that came on our show who was one of the consultants who UEFA came to for advice on how to do this sort of forensic analysis of the accounts and to see whether there was fraud, basically. And this guy told us that it's so insidious what Liverpool have done. What Man City have done, because not only did they break the rules, Manchester City, of course, they signed up to these rules, but Manchester City were one of the working group clubs who helped to create the rules. So not only did they agree to them and break them, they made the damn rules. They are literally like the footballing version of Dominic Cummings. Made the rules and then broke the rules. It's crazy, and I feel like everything that they've achieved since doing that should be completely stripped for them. There probably isn't the power for UEFA to do it, but if there is every league title, every cup, you know, I would even go so far as to find them all the money they've made through Champions League qualification in that time. Like I would cripple them. I would send a message out. I would send a message out across football to say, you can be taken over by billionaires. You can pump in as much money as is feasible, but you have to do it through the restraints and the rules and the regulations. I would cripple City for the next 10, 20 years. I would do it. Send the message, and no one will do it again. They really won't. You know, Newcastle, for instance, you know, I've got this new money coming. They'll become a powerhouse with it, but it's just going to take them a little bit longer potentially, unless they do the work right. So they'll just look. The one negative about Man City being caught is that it's all going to kind of be pushed into the
Come to light now,
it's going to come to light, and smart business people and smart financiers are like, okay, well, they got caught for doing this wrong. If we just finesse it slightly and do it X, Y, and Z way, you know, especially in countries where UEFA are going to have no jurisdiction. So there's going to be nothing. If I'm a billionaire prince and my brother's the billionaire prince that buys Newcastle, there's nothing that stops. I'm going to start a new business and I want to sponsor your club. Or how much are you willing to pay us? I'll pay you £1 billion for a 5-year deal. You know, and I know there's rules around it. Has to be within certain value, and they can just scope it in a way where every pre-season has to be done in that country, and there's certain whatever they have to do. I don't know. All your players have to holiday here at least once every 2 years. You'll be able to finesse it out and create it. They will work a way around those rules. When you're talking about a family, by the way, who are worth, I mean, they're so rich. I think they've got more money than the rest of the Premier League owners added together. So yeah, they're going to do crazy business.
But the reason why I bring Man City up and I brought this up and brought this to light, because it goes hand in hand with what Everton have done. Now, if I can remember correctly, Everton's spending over the last 3 years has been in the region of about 550 million. I'm sorry, but Everton Football Club do not generate that amount of money. They don't. It's ridiculous to even argue that toss. But again, it's going to be interesting to see what happens to Man City if this judgment does get passed and they do get banned from the Champions League, which I pray to Lord every night that it happens, because I'm going to watch every single player, like De Bruyne, like Aguero, every single player will leave that club if there's no Champions League. Do you honestly think the likes of Sterling, the mercenary, and De Bruyne and that are going to stay at Man City if they are banned from the Champions League for 2 years? It's not going to happen.
Oh, yeah, they're done. They're absolutely done if this ban goes through. I hope it goes through. I pray it goes through. Players will leave by the dozen. Players will leave by the absolute dozen. They truly will. There's no doubt about it at all. In terms of your starting lineup tonight, mate, Keita's in, Minamino's in, Milner's in, Matip in for Gomez. Any shocks there, or are you quite happy with it?
To be honest with you, no, because I've been, I must admit, I've been watching the behind closed door games. I've got a fella on Twitter who streams it. I shouldn't really say that, but fella on Twitter who streams it, and I've been watching him. And to be fair, Naby looks really sharp. Minamino looks well as well. He scored a couple of goals behind closed doors. Sorry, but I'm happy to give the likes of Salah and that the Palace game, and just go all out and absolutely smash Palace at Anfield and win the title against Palace.
Yeah.
So I'm quite happy with the starting lineup, to be honest. So there's no shocks for me, really. I'd say the only shock, really, is probably Matip in for Gomez. I don't quite understand that one. I'd give Gomez the run out, especially in a derby, because it's a different pressure in it. You know, and he's a young lad, and you want to get the sort of experience to that.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I think that's a good enough team to put out. I mean, you couldn't even beat our kids.
Of course. What did you make of Richarlison's comments as well about Van Dijk not being that great? He's already dribbled past him this season. I mean, I thought it was strange. I thought it was a very weird attack.
Games, isn't it? I mean, it's just mind games. He's part of that Everton clique now, isn't he? Where they just talk absolute nonsense to a lot of them. So, you know, it's a case of I mean, it's a stupid comment to make. As far as I'm concerned, he's the best defender in the world. Show me a defender with his statistics, even close to his statistics, in any league, in any country. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, mate, he's the best defender in the world. And there's no one who can sit here and change my mind. I'd say a close second to him would be Koulibaly. And then after that, then you start talking about Ramos and that. But the reason why I don't put Ramos in there is because Ramos is a great defender, but the problem with Ramos is his temperament. He's too prone to kick out, and you don't get that from the likes of Koulibaly and Van Dijk, and that sort of takes him down a peg or two, as far as I'm concerned, with Ramos. I think he's a great defender.
I hear that. I think as well. When I look at Ramos as well, I just think Ramos is past his best now. I think 3 or 4 years ago he was maybe the best in the world. The temperament, the issue with the temperament is one of those things where when he was linked with Man United, that was the only worry I had. You know, do I really want a centre? With how close our leagues are here, at the time, you're thinking, would I really want a centre-back who gets sent off 2 or 3 times a season and could miss 9 games a year just through suspension? That would be a concern for me. But as a player, yeah, absolutely brilliant. On the Van Dijk thing as well, I never get, like, I put a video out this morning, and it was a joke. It was a compilation of him getting taken on and mistakes this year. But the reply was, these videos are easy to make and they're absolute nonsense. It's a case of you can literally take the best players in the world and make a compilation of their mistakes and then put some funny music behind it and make anyone look trash. It was at the point, mate, you know, that I did. The irony in it is that nobody read the second part of the tweet. They just went, oh, you're just salty. It's like, no, I'm not. I'm actually backing your guy here and saying that these kind of videos are nonsense. But there we go. Mate, what's your score prediction for the game?
3-0.
3-0. Mate, I agree with you. I think it's going to be somewhere similar to that. Look, I appreciate you coming on, mate. We'll chat to you again soon. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye. We had Neil that was trying to call the show. Neil, try and call us back, mate. We'll get you on the air as soon as we can. Skype details are in the description below. If you haven't done so yet, everyone who's watching right now, please, I beg you, please hit that like button for us right now. Really important that you get that done. We're going to get David on the line now. David, welcome to the Football Terrace. Let us know who you support.
I support Chelsea. You know who I am.
Oh, sorry. You know it is David. It's Skype. Yeah, cool. I mean, just watch your team play. I thought Chelsea looked really good. Really good. Probably the sharpest team since the return, if that makes sense.
I thought we were rusty, to be honest. I thought we were sharp. We were sharper than teams I've seen, but I still thought we were very rusty.
Yeah, no, definite some rust there. But I thought you were been one of the best teams since the return happened. But of course, it's so important to get that victory today for yourselves, because without it, you then go into that run of real tough games. You know, you couldn't afford really to drop points today, and it comes up trumps. And I think Pulisic's goal. You know, Pulisic getting that goal, it's that message it sends out. You know, you guys are signing some big players. He's a guy that doesn't really seem to be respected by a lot of your fans. And now, you know, he picks up that all-important equaliser. It could change things.
Yeah, I mean, for me, when he's played, he's been arguably our best attacker, our most consistent attacker. I mean, when you look at he got the hat-trick against Burnley, but when he plays, he's normally contributing a goal. Or at least he's creating chances more than the others who were still trying to support Tammy and so on. So, I think he's fantastic. I think he'll definitely start next year once he gets more games under his belt for this year.
Yeah, no doubt at all. Ahead of Everton versus Liverpool, what's your head saying on this game?
Even though I'd love Everton just to, sneak one, I don't see it happening.
You don't see it at all?
Nah, not a chance. Not really. It's like I can see them scoring a bit like Villa, scoring a goal from a free kick or something, but then just getting grinded down towards the end and just conceding goals. Yeah,
I can't see it. Again, a bit like you. There's a part of me as a Man United fan that would kind of like to see it. Not that it's going to change the course of the season at all or anything like that. But yeah, I'd like to see it happen. But it won't. I couldn't believe it when I was doing the research on this. You know, imagine not beating your local rivals. Imagine, just say out loud for a moment. In 20 years, you've beaten your local rivals twice. I wouldn't even want this game. I'd almost want to turn around to the FA and say, look, can we skip this game? Can we skip this game every year and just... Can we skip this game every year, give the points to Liverpool? We'd rather save our energy. Everton might have a better season if they just didn't play this game and waste and expend any energy in the build-up to it. They're that bad. Imagine, forfeiting the game is more beneficial for them than anything else. That's crazy. It really, really is. It really is. It's mental.
I think even Chelsea, we don't really have a main rival. Our closest rival is Fulham. I think even Fulham have beaten us in more times in the past 20 years than that.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're not even in the Premier League, and so
Well, that's what we were saying. That's what I was alluding to earlier. I look at Man United, City. City were awful. They were well below Everton standard for many, many years, but they still popped up and beat us every now and then. Even after years out of the top flight, Everton are trash. Truly, truly trash. It's crazy. It's massive. What's your score prediction for tonight, mate?
I'll go 2-1, 2-1. Richarlison to score and Van Dijk to score a header.
That's an interesting one. Van Dijk to get a header. I love those obscure predictions sometimes. It's just like, a header from Van Dijk.
You can't be bored with it.
No, I hear that, bro. I hear that.
Have a bit of fun with it.
I hear that. David, thanks for coming back on, mate. Chat to you again soon. All the best, mate. Bye-bye.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. Listen, Neil, I will only answer Neil's call if he calls back because I know he tried to call through before and couldn't. Super chat here from Jeannie, who says Grealish and Rudiger were pushing each other, and I thought it was funny because Grealish had Black Lives Matter on his shirt. Love the show. Jeannie, I respect the super chat, but Black Lives Matter isn't about not having an argument with somebody who has darker skin than you. It's about equality. You know, that's weird. That's a weird comment, bro. Neil, welcome to the show. Who do you support? Hello, mate. Can you hear me?
Hey, mate.
Yeah, who do you support, buddy?
Hey, I'm a Chelsea fan, mate.
You're a Chelsea fan. What's on your mind right now? What do you want to say?
Well, this is the run-in, right? So, end of the season, it's not about entertainment. It's about getting those points in, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you picked up points tonight against Aston Villa. Really important victory, returning to the Premier League. One of the only top sort of teams in the run-in, other than the Wolves, one of the only teams to actually pick up maximum points so far. Wolves, of course, got their victory as well. So a really good start and return to you. That must make you confident about making the top four now.
Well, now we have a little bit of space between us and Wolves and United. But I thought, the biggest takeaway from today was finally saw Lampard using Kante as a lone DM. And that could completely, change the way this team plays here on. He hasn't had a fit Kante for the entire season, pretty much.
No, I totally get that, mate. Obviously, you've got big players coming in this summer. Ziyech and Werner are confirmed. There may be even more. How excited are you about the future for Chelsea? And how far do you think you're behind the likes of the Liverpool team that we're watching tonight and challenging for titles?
Well, I mean, if you're very behind, 40 points doesn't get covered, just by signing players. So there needs to be an evolution, both, the way our fullbacks play, the way our wingers are. You saw Pulisic today? He was he had something to prove, man, today. And,
yeah,
folks like him, Tammy, they know that it's not going to be the kind of season that Willian Pedro have had for all these years, where you score 6 goals through an entire season. That's not going to cut it in the kind of team that Lampard's trying to build. So I don't know if these signings, if we get Havertz, but I feel like unless we get a goalkeeper, we are not going to be anywhere. You can buy all the attacking talent in the world, but if you have a goalkeeper that's the worst in the league statistically, that lets in 1 shot out of 2, you're not going to go anywhere.
No, I hear that. I do hear that, mate. Neil, listen, appreciate you coming on, mate. We'll chat to you again soon, my bro. All the best. Bye-bye. Thank you for calling the show. Skype line is in the description below. We're 20 minutes away from the kickoff of the Merseyside derby. I am excited about this game, to be fair. Although I don't give Everton a catch chance in hell. Hell will freeze over, I think, before Everton beat Liverpool again in the Premier League. I really do mean that. I don't give them a chance at all. But I am excited for the game. I'm always excited for these big Premier League games. They're massive. The Liverpool team is here on my right. Well, my what's that there? That's my right hand side. Interesting team tonight. Minamino starts. Naby Keita starts. Big game for him. Next up, we've got Liverpool fan Stro on the channel. Stro's back. How you doing, mate?
Good, man, you?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm good. What's your thoughts and feelings ahead of the Merseyside derby?
First and foremost, happy Father's Day.
Oh, yeah. Cheers. I appreciate that, mate. Thank you.
To be honest, the Liverpool fan you had on previously, literally it's so refreshing to hear Liverpool fans who have actually got a bit of common sense and actually giving credit to other teams. You don't normally hear that. So, yeah, salute to him first and foremost. Yeah, I knew Robertson wasn't going to be playing. I knew he'd be starting on the bench, and Milner's not a surprise. Klopp's got this thing where if players are injured, he doesn't really any missed training. They have to have a week's training in order to get back into the starting 11. So we knew that Salah wasn't going to be playing either. The one that shocked me was was Matic, to be honest. I was quite surprised given the partnership, like I've said on the Liverpool show for the past couple of weeks, is obviously we were struggling for clean sheets, and then you put Gomez next to Van Dijk, and we kept 9 clean sheets in 11 games. So that's the one that shocked me. I don't know if Gomez has got a slight injury, whether it's just fresh legs and he's staying in for the Palace game. But yeah, that was the one that surprised me the most.
Yeah, I was a little shocked by that, and I didn't know that about the week needing to have a week's training in there. It's an interesting night tonight, though. But 2 players they're in the team. Naby Keita, of course, his Liverpool career has been marred by injury, but there was so much hype about him, and you know, it almost feels like a second bite of the cherry now, where this end of the season for Liverpool, because you're going to win the title in the next 2 games. There's no doubt about it. And then maybe it's an opportunity for the Keita to say, look, I'm past my injuries. Please don't think about selling me this summer. If you were at all, give me another opportunity. And Minamino, look, Liverpool have just been like a freight train since he's joined, pretty much, barely losing games. It'd be nice to actually see him start in an important game, because sometimes coming on the bench from the bench when your team's already winning, it's hard to sometimes get involved and be impactful. So I mean, Minamino, I mean, have you been impressed as a Liverpool fan with what you've seen so far, or has he left a lot to be desired?
No, it's the thing, like, just being completely honest, the only real time that I've seen Minamino was when he played against us in the Champions League both times. Don't get me wrong, both times he didn't impress me. He scored an excellent goal at Anfield. But yeah, like you said, he's not really had much. Like, obviously, it's a difficult team to be coming into, especially one that, like you said, it's like a train. It's just the clogs just keep turning, and it's very difficult. One, because obviously Klopp likes to integrate players slowly. You've seen it with Fabinho, you've seen it with Oxlade-Chamberlain, you've seen it with Salah to an extent. He doesn't like to just throw people in there because he's got a certain style of play, offensively and defensively. And you've got to kind of get on board with it, because there's a reason why Klopp selects certain players when he's trying to buy him, certain individuals, certain characteristics, and that's why he likes to meet people face to face. He identifies players that he knows would suit his system, and more importantly, the person that they are as well, the work ethics and stuff like that. So, unfortunately, he's not had much time. The thing that probably has helped him the most is the integration. Obviously, he's learning a new language, which is he only really knows Mane and Keita. So, I'm looking forward to seeing him play. But I've seen clips of the pre-season games against Blackburn and the inter-club friendlies and stuff like that. Both him and Keita look very, very sharp. But obviously, you're judging it based on one game. Keita needs to prove it. I know he's got the talent in there. It's just whether he's gonna fulfill his potential or not.
Yeah, and that's what, as you say, that's what it comes down to in the end. And sometimes you're in this situation. By the way, I have sent you a link to come on the show to do the fan cams after the game, mate. So I've sent that through. So that's in your DM box now. I just sort of look at it, and it's always hard to know. And friendlies are so difficult because I've seen teams. I always remember, go back to this. I don't know what summer it might have been, the summer of 2014. Maybe 2015, and Louis van Gaal's Man United beat everybody, including Liverpool in pre-season, and we looked really good. And I got so hyped for the season, and I think it might have been his first year in charge. And then for opening game against Swansea at home, we get beat 2-1. And I just, it's sort of thinking, all that hype, all that really good play, all that excitement ready for the season to begin, it falls apart. And of course, this isn't a start of a season, but it kind of, it's weird. It has that sense, doesn't it, of the beginning of the season, even though we're starting to end the season, because of course this is unprecedented. It's never happened before in the history of football. So it's going to be intriguing to see what comes back. In terms of score prediction tonight, I know you don't give Everton much of a chance. What would you bet the score being?
Nah, to be fair, if Everton are ever going to catch us cold, it's going to be on a night like tonight, one where they've had a massive gap. There's not been much football played. We've made changes. If they are ever going to do anything, it's probably going to be tonight. Saying that, though, what, they've beat us once or twice in the past, 20 years? Like, it's a joke. Like, come on, that's a shambles. For any club, like, realistically, like, obviously, I live in Manchester. I used to see Manchester City before, obviously, they got taken over by the billionaires and they play against you. And even then, I'd still seen them beat you more times than what Everton have beat us. And Everton have got a millionaire owner. Like, what are they doing as a club? They're an embarrassment. Scores 2-0.
2-0.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Matic got on the score sheet. Would not be surprised. He's a threat from set pieces, and with Trent's delivery, anything can happen.
Yeah, that's a good shout, mate. That's a good shout. Bro, listen, we'll speak to you after the game.
Yeah.
Take care, my man. All the best, brother. Take care. Bye-bye. It's an interesting one. I'm still sticking with 3-0. I'm still sticking with 3-0 to Liverpool. I think they're going to absolutely destroy Everton. They really, really are. What I'm going to do quickly, I know quite a lot of you are currently watching us on Hot Mic. Please get that download. There's 835 of you tuning in. It's free of charge. It's available in Google Play and the App Store. You can synchronize with your television or streaming device and have our commentary via the app in time with your device. So there's no delay. YouTube, of course, has a 40, 50-second delay on these things here. There's no adverts on there or anything else. We'd love you to click on and give it, show us some of your support in relation to that. It'd be amazing. Absolutely amazing if you could do that. But I've just got to sync. What you have to do is press the synchronize button to make things match up in relation to that. So let me just do that, and I'll be back with you in a few moments. One second, people. Real sorry about this. Right, I've got to do this one more time. Sorry. It's giving me jip. Do me a big favor, hit the like button. Please hit the share button as well. Really important ways for you to keep supporting the channel. Just while we get this synced up for everybody watching over on Hot Mic right now. Just let me sync this up. Nearly 1,000 people tuning in, which is absolutely amazing. Really glad to have you all here. I think that's been one of the best parts of the Premier League returning. It's like getting back to doing the watch-alongs, the game reaction as well has been brilliant. Spurs don't. Okay, that's an interesting one. Will you be doing this? Terry is going all country and western with that shirt. Bro, this is just a normal shirt, bruv. This ain't no country and western shirt. This is just from, this is from Zara, bro. It's just a Zara shirt. Standard shirt. Little £30 jobby. Nothing major. Nothing crazy. Now my app isn't loading. And it definitely isn't my internet, but there we go. Thank you very much for the super chat, or the tip, sorry, over there on Hot Mic. Hello, Fairs. Thank you for tuning in. Mr. Payer. There we go. We've got that to work again now, so maybe we'll get this to stay. Excited to see how Keita and Miramino perform today. Hopefully they kick on and show their potential. Mate, I hear you completely. I know a lot of Liverpool fans are excited about that. Right now, we're currently sitting on 2,051 followers over on Hot Mic. We'd love you to get involved with us over there right now. Jump on with us. Get yourself synchronized up. The game is 9 minutes away from starting. Aston Villa. Everton are playing 4-4-2 here. That in itself is very interesting. Let's see what happens with that. Let's do this synchronization. Back with you in a second. There we go. That's all synchronized up now. So if you're watching over there, you can sync up with your television at the same time and get that done. Please get it. Yeah, please get that sorted. Get yourselves onto Hot Mic. It'd be amazing for us if you could. Let's do some more of your live comments here. Thank you, everybody who's put a super chat in so far. You can also become an official member of the Football Terrace by clicking the join button right now. That'd be great if you could. It says, John Terry was seen buying a full Liverpool kit. Okay, let's spank the toffees is what Dwayne, one of our members here, says. Hi to you, Emmett ZZ. Let's do some more of these comments here. Pepe better than Martial. Laughing emojis. Yeah, that ain't happening. By the way, if you do become an official member, you can use our emojis. We've got Liverpool-based ones as well. So you've got the Mo Salah emoji, which we're about to share with you on the screen. We've got the Mo Salah emoji we just put out. We've got a Mane one. We've got the Liverpool badge as well. And a few others. You know, we've got simple as that, one of our sayings here on the channel. There's a shut up emoji. There's the L emoji. What else do we have here? There's... you won't want the Pogba or the Ronaldo ones as an example. We've got other badges. Chelsea fans who are tuning in. United fans. There's an Aaron one, Pasaka one here as well. There's a Bruno one. We're going to be adding more very, very soon as we get more members. So if you want to become an official member, be able to use those emojis during our live stream, please get that done. Give me your score predictions, though. We're almost 5 minutes away from kickoff. The players will be coming onto the pitch soon. And a very wet Goodison Park. It's teeming down with rain. But we want your score predictions in right now. We really, really do. Get yourselves involved. Make sure you're subscribing. The Everton team are about to walk out onto the pitch, and they look scared. Like, the Everton team truly looks scared, you know. Fairs here on Hot Mic, which is where you can watch the show as well, thinks it's going to be 5-0. 5-0. Which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. But listen, make sure you get this app downloaded right now. It's free. It's amazing. Full of lots of YouTubers. Full of all sorts of different people. Get yourselves involved right now. Get it downloaded. Use my promo code TFT to get that done. John here thinks Everton are going to win 2-1. Can you imagine if that happens, though? Now, I want to ask Liverpool fans this question. How bothered would you be if you do go on to lose today? You know, we know you're going to be Premier League champions. It isn't going to derail you there. But would it just kind of leave a bit of sour taste in the mouth? Or will it just be a case of, fair play to you, whatever, though, we're not bothered, we're going to go lift that, trophy? That would be Everton's season, though. That's the difference. That will complete. If Everton win today, their fans are going to ask for a bus parade. Knock straight on the mayor's door. Bro, we want a bus parade, please. We just beat the best team in the world. You know that's what they're going to do. The pettiness is there. Liverpool favour. We won't lose is what a few people here are saying. I agree. I don't think you will lose. I really don't think you will lose. Jordan thinks it's going to be 4-0. 4-0 to Liverpool. It could be. I do think Liverpool are going to smash them. I think Liverpool are going to absolutely smash Everton. And I felt that I can't get away from that. Like, I truly can't get away from it. It's going to happen. Getting busted. Luca here on Hot Mic thinks it's going to be 3-2 to Everton. Can you imagine? Can you really imagine? Anyone out there, can you really imagine that score? I can't see it. I can't buy into that. I don't believe it. I can't believe that at all. 6-0 to, this is an interesting one. This comment here from Sodium422. 6-0 to Liverpool. They will win. Minamino will score 2. Firmino will score 1. Mane will score 2. And Van Dijk will score a header. That is an in-depth prediction. 6-0. Name the goal scorers. I can't see it being 6-0, by the way. But I do see Liverpool battering Everton. And I'm intrigued to see what Richarlison does. Richarlison has bigged himself up. Richarlison has given it Billy Big Bollocks this whole week. Now what is he going to do? Now what's going to happen? Now he's actually got to play Van Dijk. Not on FIFA, not on Pro Evo, not on Football Manager, but in the flesh. Big, strong, dominant, best centre-back in the world, Van Dijk. Let's see what he can do. Let's read another comment here. Patrick thinks 4-1. 4-1 to who, though, bro? Patrick, tell me who you think that's going to be. If you want to call the show during the game, to express your thoughts and feelings, you know what to do. We're here. We're available. Over 11,500 views so far on the stream. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you so much for taking so much time to watch us here on the Football Terrace. It means a great deal. Players are now going to go and take that minute silence to, of course, honour the fallen and the unfortunate event of people losing their lives during CV19, and to pay homage and respect to the wonderful people at the NHS that have got this nation through it. And of course, they'll be taking a knee in support of Black Lives Matter, a movement that we must all get behind to create equality for our fellow man. I want goals 15 here. Says VVD might body Richie. Yeah, he can. He can. He will. Not even that he can. He will. He legitimately will. Legitimately will do that. There's no doubt about it at all in my mind. None. Like I'm not fearful. I'm not worried. I wouldn't be concerned. I truly wouldn't. I know some people are, but if I was you, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be concerned one little bit. Darren here thinks it's going to be 2-2. Jordan says, can I please request you put the match on the screen so that we can listen to you at the same time? If we get to 3,000 live viewers, I'll do it. If we get to up to 3,000 people watching us live, I'll do it for you. I make that promise. I will. But you've got to go and get the 3,000 people. So you've got to share this link now with your friends and family. Get as many people involved as you can, and I'll do it. If you, Jordan, if you help me get to that number, I'll do it for you. You know? Here we go. Kickoff is seconds away. Of course, the knee will be taken once the whistle is blown. Everybody does it, including the refs. Everybody in the stadium takes the knee. A few will put the hand up in support, the fist up in support of Black Lives Matter. Absolutely right. Fundamentally right that we get behind this as a sport and in wider society. We must. There's no point just cheering on Trent, cheering on Naby, cheering on Van Dijk when they're in your team. You have to champion people, people of the black community who are systematically disadvantaged in this country due to systematic and deep-lying, deep-rooted racism that has existed for far too long in this country. Everybody takes a knee. The football terrace is in full support, and I'm sure you all are as well. Who wouldn't want equality? Imagine that. Who wouldn't want equality? Mad people. Mad people wouldn't want it. Here we go. The game kicks off. Merseyside derby has begun. Liverpool kicking from left to right. Big game here on Father's Day. Here we go. Hit the like button, please, right now. Smash that like button now. Let's get to 1,000 likes, ladies and gentlemen. Share this on your social media platforms, and please download Hot Mic. Come and follow us over there. I think we've gained like 10 followers so far today, which is amazing. Also, if you're watching on Hot Mic, please like and please share the stream. Please click the share button on that stream as well and get that out to all your friends and to all your family. It would be amazing if you could do that. It really, really would. But here we go. Iwobi here on the ball. Back to Seamus Coleman, who's tackled there. Tackled there by the absolutely brilliant, the majestic Sadio Mane. There we go. Is Gomez injured? I don't know. Because I don't listen to the build-up because I'm doing mine. I don't believe it's anything serious. Everton win the ball back, but they're being pinned in. Liverpool's press is hard and high again already, and it's barely even started. Silupi says, walk on. KSI 2.0 says, come on, Everton. There you go. Minamino starting on this right-hand side, just as we predicted. It was fairly obvious. You're not going to move. You're not going to move Mane unless you have to. Everton still haven't got out of their own half yet. Seamus Coleman goes long to Richarlison. Richarlison actually does quite well. Oh, I think handball was given here. Oh, look at that. Mike Dean's got a full-on beard, bruv. Mike Dean's got a full-on beard, bruv. Here goes Minamino. Oh, he's well tackled there. Well tackled there. Here we go. The referee's beard is thick, bruv. Like, that's a thick, solid beard. Give the man credit for that. Ball goes long here. It's going to be collected by Alisson. It's interesting that some of the players have got had haircuts and some others haven't. And it's funny. Some people look real ropey. Oh, excuse me. Long day. I had the family over today. We had a nice barbecue. We all played in the swimming pool. It was a good day. But now back to work, back to business. Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold. Crosses that ball in, takes a deflection, and the T-Rex collects it. I shouldn't call him that. The beard is a distraction from his ability. Yeah, man, it's a serious piece of like that's a serious beard as well. It's like one of them sort of gingery, you know, them people that get like gingery grey beards. That's what it is. That's what it is. Richarlison here on the march, number 7 for Everton. Can he get past Fabinho? He goes for the shot early. Ooh, nice little tester there. Nice little tester, but the ball doesn't actually go out. Milner picked it up and he feeds it into Mane, whose first touch isn't good enough. Goes out for an Everton throw. Nice little early tester there from Richarlison, who has to step up today. Richarlison has to do something today. He's given it too much of the big one. He spoke too much. That's poor. That'd be collected up. Sorted out there by Jordan Henderson. Closed down there by Digne. Oh, it was onside as well. It was really a poor header from Firmino that sets him away. It was... I'm not sure if he saved it or not there, Alisson. We'll have to see it from this close-up angle. It was a good shot. Don't know if it did. It looks like he pulled his hand away. It wasn't going to go in, but it was close. Early little scare. Early little scare there for Liverpool. But let's see what happens in this game. 4 minutes in. What time does the game has started, guys? The game has started. Do me a favor, everyone who's tuning in right now, new people and the what, please hit that like button for us. It's really important that we get that done. It truly, truly is. Thank you to everybody who's tuning in. We really appreciate it here at the Football Terrace. Big game for Miramino is what Victorious thinks. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it is a big game for him. I think it's a very, very... Oh, foul there. Fabinho started this game off a little sloppy, you know, giving away some poor fouls, really. The sync for hot mic, because if you're on hot mic right now and you're going to sync it, let me show you on the screen. I'll put it up to my camera. So if you touch the screen, there's a little option there on the left that says sync. So you touch the screen and it comes up. So all you got to do is touch your screen and it comes up there and it'll say sync. So get yourselves over to hot mic now, get that done. Hello, Campbell, Captain. Hello, Kieran. If you guys... Yeah, just touch the screen, you'll find the synchronization button. And then just get that synced up. You may be like a second or two ahead of me and vice versa. But once you do that, you might have to pause your TV. If it says like you're ahead by 3 seconds, pause your TV for 3 seconds. It's real simplistic. Get it done. If you want to watch that game, ladies and gentlemen, in time right now via the television, download the app, Hot Mic. Get it done over there right now. All the information to be able to watch the game in real time is available on that app now. Use promo code TFT to get that done. But let's go. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Big game here. Merseyside derby. John here says you'll never walk alone. Lots of Liverpool fans tuning in right now. Totally get why. Everton have started quite confident, though. I give them credit where credit is due. They've started off well. Louise Steen says, come on, LFC. Emma here says, Liverpool need the win. Hello, guys. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you're new here, please. We're live every single day with amazing football content covering the top 6 in the Premier League. Fully independent, no bias, no saltiness, just pure, hard, cold opinion and facts. And if that's something you enjoy, make sure you get involved. Ball kick long here to Calvert-Lewin, who is onside. Feeds it into Iwobi, but Iwobi's touch is poor. The ball is then kicked by Navigator, and it ricochets off Iwobi's hand, and a free kick is given. Terry Carr says, you keep freezing. Really? All seems okay my end. All seems okay my end. But, okay. Let me know if anybody else is getting that problem. I'm not freezing. Okay, cool. Appreciate that, peeps. I didn't think I was. I was getting no signs here that anything was going wrong. Ball kicked long here, and Barney chases it down, and Seamus Coleman just punts it out for a Liverpool throw, which James Milner is going to go over and take. Remember, Liverpool just 2 victories away. 2 victories away. You're joking, Terry, about the no bias bit. Well, I'm not biased. I just have opinions. Just because my opinion doesn't match everybody else's doesn't make it bias. What I mean by that is, you know for a fact, 110%, I'll praise Liverpool when I have to. What I don't do is praise everything about Liverpool. If I think there's something poor, I'll say it's poor. If I think there's something great, I'll say it's great. That's being unbiased. You know, just because somebody can be positive about something all the time, that's still bias. Same as I'm not negative. I'm not negative about any one thing every time, and I'm not positive about any one thing every time. That's what normal human beings with brains are like. It's pretty normal. Do I support Liverpool? No. But we covered the top 6 here on my platform. Everton coming forward here. Oh, lovely tackle there by Fabinho. Gives the ball to Navigator. Here's Minamino, who takes a shot over the bar, but not a bad little tester early on in the game. There's no point. Listen, I'd be testing Pickford every second I could. The guy is such an average goalkeeper. Excellent play in the middle there by Fabinho. He gives it to Minamino, puts it onto his right foot. I mean, it is quite wide and quite high, but well worth a go from there, in my very humble opinion. Remember other results from today. Newcastle beat Sheffield United 3-0, which is interesting. Sheffield United are falling away from this top 4 race massively since the return. And Chelsea came from 1 goal behind to beat Aston Villa to really put some cement into their top 4 push. Long ball here to Calvert-Lewin, which is recovered. Matip passes the ball back here to Alisson. Alisson now has options in Van Dijk. He does go back to Matip. He goes back to Alisson again. Just waiting for the Everton players to stop their press, and they might. Van Dijk on the ball. Back to Matip here. But it's been a nice little start from Everton. We haven't really seen too much from Liverpool yet, but you know that, Firmino there, he's touched and he's turned, he's majestic. He finds Mane, who's coming very, very central. Back to Fabinho here. It's a good shape, though. It's a very good defensive shape so far from Everton that they're really cutting the space. But Minamino's turn. Bar back. Lovely back heel there from Firmino. Oh, and there's a foul here on... There's a foul here. It looked like a foul on Richarlison, but I think it's actually gone to Liverpool. Liverpool, I think, have been given the foul here. Richarlison, do you know, whenever you see a player nowadays who acts like that on the floor, gets fouled, but he rolls around like a madman, it normally means that he's made the mistake. And that's what we saw there. That is what we saw there. Henderson standing over. There was a nice bit of skill. Minamino got the ball and he played it into Fabinho. Fabinho's back heel nearly sets Minamino away. An interesting view on Minamino tonight to see what you can do, because, of course, Liverpool fans wanted Timo Werner and that isn't happening. But maybe you don't need to strengthen that area with the likes, with some of the youngsters you've got and with Minamino. But we really need to see what he's like. Trent crosses here. So not a good cross from Trent there, and that goes out for a Everton goal kick. Let's see what some of you are saying here in the comment section. Minamino has confidence like a madman. Trent really needs the barbers to open soon. KSI here says, come on, Arsenal. Dwayne, one of our members, says that's a rusty cross. Yeah, definitely. Nice bit of skill there. And Ancelotti looks like he's slimmed up during lockdown as well, So I'm the other way. I'm one of them people. I blew up. I blew up weight-wise. during lockdown. I really did. I really did. Ball's been kicked long here. Dini just clears it. Fabinho there wrestling with Richarlison again. Calvert-Lewin takes it down. Ooh, well defended there. Again by Fabinho. Naby Keita first to the ball again. Gets there in front of Davis. Liverpool just starting to take a bit more control of this game, which I think we all expected them to do. I think we all expected that to be the case. Here's Trent. Back to Matip. Gives the ball to Van Dijk. No real chances for Liverpool as of yet. But you know that's going to come. You know it's going to come. Here's Naby Keita driving forward. Finds Mane. Mane now spreads the play here to the right-hand side to Trent. Trent goes back to Jordan Henderson. Back to Trent. Minamino's dropped deep for the ball now. He's out here on the right. Finds Fabinho, he's in the centre. They work the ball out to his right-hand side. Lovely first-time touch there from Trent to set away Jordan Henderson. But Jordan Henderson just didn't anticipate. I think he actually stalled his run slightly. That's why he kind of claps his hands together in frustration at himself. And it runs through to Pickford in the goal. Still 0-0 at this point. And look at this here. Jordan Henderson's unbeaten in the previous 14 Merseyside derby appearances. That's just embarrassing for Everton. Imagine playing... Man United have been poor for a while now, right? City have been better than Man United for 7 years. But we beat them in so many derbies still. Oh, Minamino tries a lovely, cheeky little dummy there. It doesn't quite come off, but that was a lovely bit of skill by him. Lovely bit of skill by him. He could have controlled it, but he dummied it. Well read. But there we go. John here says, no way Liverpool are winning. Listen, I don't see it being that. I can't understand where you're getting that from. Jeez. Calvert-Lewin here has the ball, but loses that to Milner. That plays the ball into Minamino, who's playing quite centrally and deep at the moment, considering the starting position that he was in. Henderson here on the ball. Sprays the ball out here to the right-hand side. Back to Henderson. Now to Matip. Matip to Keita, who always looks to drive forward. Plays it out to the left to Milner. Milner back into Naby. Naby tries a bit of skill, but gets dispossessed by Everton. We're going to look to counter-attack here. Here goes Richarlison. He's got Calvert-Lewin in front of him. But Jordan Henderson, brilliant there. Stops Richarlison from being able to play. Ball is now with Iwobi. Liverpool have recovered their shape and position. The counter-attack is over. Davis here to Gomez. So amazing to see Gomez back after his horrific leg break earlier on in this season. He actually returned before the suspension of the season. A cross that came in there from Digne at left back. But it goes out for a goal kick. It was poor. Very, very poor indeed. John here thinks that Richarlison will get one. Don't know about the second. Well, let's see what happens here. Callum here says can't find the sync even when you touch the screen. That's weird. Let me sync my television for 1 second. I'm not sure why you can't find the sync button. Maybe if the technicians or any of the technicians are watching, I'll reach out to them. A great ball by Trent. Well held by Pickford in the end. Let me just get this television turned down before we get this stream shut down as an example. But yeah, I'm not sure why you guys can't see it. I'm very, very sorry why there's no sync button. I've got a sync button on mine. You guys should have a sync button. I'm not too sure why you don't have it. It might not be working. So the technicians are going to work on that now, guys, to try and get that resolved. For everybody to get that done. But thank you to everyone that has gone and downloaded that right now. Does anyone know the link for the match? It's on Sky, bro. It's on Sky. Matip in possession here, moving himself forward. Navigator again. Navigator's closed down every time by Davis very quickly. Finds Henderson, he sprays it out to Trent. Slightly overhit pass, but Trent keeps it in. Goes back to Henderson, who's always supporting him in that right channel. Fabinho here. Navigator to Mane. Mane to Firmino. That's well defended there by Coleman, who just clears, hoofs it up the field. Matip comes straight in, wins his header. The ball ends up back with Iwobi, who's pressed straight away by Navigator. And all Iwobi can do because of that press is boot the ball up the other end of the pitch. That's all he could do from that situation. NR12 thinks that Mane is going to get a hat-trick today. What a way to almost win the league by picking up a hat-trick at your local rivals. Davis collects the ball here, win the ball back. Richarlison in possession, but look at that press from Liverpool. Absolutely brilliant. Richarlison does well to keep hold of the ball. Foul is given there. James Milner fouled him. Richarlison's rolling around like a madman, you know. You can tell that Richarlison, actually yellow card given here. I think it was to James Milner. But Richarlison's playing emotional. Richarlison is playing emotional. Just want to see what happened here. Yeah, I mean, it is a yellow card, but Richarlison's playing emotional. He's trying too hard. He's trying to do too much. He's either going to score excellent goals or he's going to get injured today. He's too emotional, and that's because he set himself up. He set himself up by giving the big one when he shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have been doing that. Minamino's pressing here. It's difficult right now. It's actually really difficult as well for Everton as it stands. All they're really able to do at the minute is knock the ball long. There's no real pattern of play or style for them. They're just hitting that ball long. Holgate and Keane having to, being pulled around a little bit. Ball being knocked long to Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin, hoping for a bit of the ball to be knocked down. Not seen much from this young Gordon so far on the left-hand side of the attack. Or Iwobi. Iwobi. It's interesting as well that they're playing this 4-2-2 formation because we're so used to seeing our wide players now in advanced roles. But 4-4-2 dictates that, you're basically playing in a deeper position. So this for the younger fans, they're not going to understand why Iwobi isn't up with the play in the same way that, say, a Minamino is. Ball hit across field there. Iwobi can't keep it in. Arsenal get it back into play really quickly. But that's won by Keane. Keane now loses out to Milner. Milner tries to play the ball through to Mane. But that's cleared by Holgate. And that's going to be a throw to Liverpool. What a pass by Fabinho there. Goes all the way out to Firmino. Firmino's touch is pretty good, but it was well defended by Coleman. Richarlison's now got the ball wide on the right-hand side. They're playing very direct football here, Everton. I'm not sure how that's going to come off for them. It just means every pass has got to be absolutely picture perfect. But so far, it's not really working for them. It's not really working for them. They did have the opening early on, but of course that was more of a mistake than anything else by Liverpool than it was good play by Everton. Drinks break now as we hit the 23rd minute of the game. Ball went out of place. It was a natural time to do it. What's people's opening thoughts in these opening 23 minutes? You know, Liverpool fans, have you been happy with the way you played? What is interesting is that 23 minutes in, there hasn't been a chance created. Not a chance, not a real opportunity opened up by anybody. That in itself is intriguing for me. How much is membership for this channel? It is $2.99 a month if you want to become a member. And what I'll do, you can hit the join button on the screen, or what you can do if you want to is click on this link that I'm about to put into the chat. There's the link now. That link will give you membership access to the content if you of course want to become a member. So thank you for asking. I said the game before that it wouldn't be a Liverpool rout. Players need time. This is like pre-season. No, I get that, but the game's got time to warm up. And the thing is with Everton in these derbies, what I would say, and I know I dismissed them massively earlier, what I kind of find with a lot of these Everton performances against Liverpool is there can be periods of the game where they're good, and there'll be large parts of the game where they're competitive. But as soon as the goal goes in, that's where the issue lies. As soon as Everton concede the goal. And what it comes down to, it's an inferiority complex. That's it for me. It's an inferiority complex. They feel inferior. They feel intimidated by Liverpool. They feel inferior to them. I think they feel inadequate. And that's why there's so much like tension. But as soon as the goal goes in, it's that realization. It's like, oh, I'm going to play up. I'm going to do you today. I know you're better than me. I know you're bigger than me. I know you always will be. But today is going to be my day. And as soon as the goal goes in, or a certain decision doesn't go their way, that inadequacy takes over, and they become mentally frail, and it falls apart. It really does. A lot of people. Yeah, I've got some tactical analysis videos coming out next week. I've got to record them a bit later. I just haven't had the time of it. Yesterday and today, it was so busy for me. I just didn't get the time to do it. But they're going to come this week. But we're going to be doing one about Paul Pogba, which I'm going to record later. And I will be doing a tactical breakdown of this game as well. That's so poor from Everton. They keep trying these long balls and they're not coming off. If you're going to play long ball football, the long balls have got to be accurate. They have to be accurate. So far, that hasn't been the case. Very, very poor. Very, very poor indeed. Matip here in possession. Trent's up with him. Trent's very deep here in the Everton half. But he has to go all the way back to the goalkeeper. They are keeping a good shape so far, Everton. This is what I mean. Like they'll be competitive for periods of the game. They'll keep themselves compact. They'll stop. But I just feel that at any given moment, if Liverpool's quality breaks through, and maybe they're just going to be helped today, Everton, that maybe Liverpool's sharpness and movement isn't going to be quite where they want it to be. Here's Jordan Henderson on the ball as they switch the play. There's a lot of space at the moment out here on the right-hand side. Everton trying to shift themselves across. Trent's going to go in centrally. Minamino comes short. Ball's back with Trent. Ball is now with Minamino. Back to Trent Alexander. The movement from the Liverpool players is nice. You've got Jordan and Henderson and Minamino are switching sides here. But here's Van Dijk coming up almost like a midfield player. Naby Keita receives the ball from Mane. A nice 1-2 with him. Mane's ball's over here. Opportunity for a counter-attack here for Everton. Poor. Absolutely poor. Gordon has the ball. I mean, it's well read by Matip, but what a poor pass that was. It's so shocking. And that's why, and we looked at it earlier, that's why in games this season in the Premier League for Everton, they average only 2 counter-attacks per game that lead to a shot. That's why. Their transition and their passing is awful. It's absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. Henderson crosses the ball here. Corner given here to Liverpool. Maybe is it being as a handball? Yeah, it has been not a corner. It's a handball. Much better angle here for Trent to whip a ball in from. Trent is about to cross this ball. Trent standing over this. He crosses. Decent. Oh, it's just wide. Matip there gets his head to the ball. I think I want to say it was Stroh that called up and said that he could be dangerous in the air today. And he was there. He was onside. Oh, that's on target. He's got a great opportunity. He's by himself. The defending there from Everton is absolutely atrocious. Atrocious. Everton trying to play out from the back here, right? They don't. Good decision. They go long, though. Van Dijk wins it. The ball ends up back at Richarlison, but Naby Keita intercepts. Everton caught a little bit here. It was a good tackle from Seamus Coleman. The ball goes out for a throw on the left-hand side. Dwayne thinks that Liverpool are missing sharpness. Yeah, I get that. Twisted Brother said the game needs a goal. It probably, yeah, it does. This from either team right now, a goal is needed because it's a little bit sheepish from both. Neither team are really. It's like nobody's really going for the jugular. I don't know why Everton wouldn't. They've got nothing to lose. It's a decent cross. Richarlison gets his head onto the ball. It goes over, but I think he was given as offside, so nothing much in that really. Yes, well offside. You don't need VAR for that decision. Very well held line there by Liverpool. A great touch there by Mane. It looked like he was fouled, but it wasn't given. Bit of a battle here for the ball. Gomez does well. He's pulled down. That's going to be a free kick to Everton. The artificial booing from the crowd's amazing. I love the fact there's artificial booing from the crowd. Makes me laugh so much. Makes me laugh so much. It really does. I'm sorry, guys, but they haven't played in a while. Yeah, we know that. And that's why I think you give everybody a little bit of time. Davis, oh, what a heavy touch from him. Liverpool almost turned the ball over. They're trying to play out from the back against one of the best high-pressing teams in the Premier League. Richarlison's fouled again here. He's rolling around, holding his leg again. This time it was Virgil van Dijk. They're having a little pop at him, aren't they? They're having a little pop at him here. Having a proper pop at him. There's nothing in it. Why is he holding his shin for? Why is Richarlison holding his shin? Book him for simulation, ref. It's not even funny, bruv. Not even funny, bruv. They're just playing Richarlison like he's not Richarlison. Calvert-Lewin's just like a target man. That's all he is. Nice there by Gomez. Keeps the ball in play. Oh, it's a good tackle on in there. Liverpool, they're on the counter here. Minamino to Henderson. Henderson, ball down with Firmino. He shoots. Oh, he dragged it wide. Not a prolific goal scorer. You see why there. It was wonderful. Minamino nicks the ball off of Gomez. And then Liverpool on the counter-attack, and it's Jordan Henderson that's running forward with it. He plays a lovely pass inside to Mane, who's lays it off to Firmino, who shoots. Navigator was running on the outside. He maybe could have found a pass. He shanks his shot 3 to 4 yards wide, but it was a good opening there for Liverpool. One of their first real openings of this half, 33 minutes on the clock. But Everton can't afford to dilly-dally. Can't afford to dilly-dally on the ball. Really, really can't. Absolutely right. That ball should have been played in the cater. No doubt about it. But hindsight's a very lucrative commodity, isn't it? If you could buy it. Iwobi coming forward here down the right-hand side. Oh, he plays it. Oh, poor in the end. Gordon gets the ball played into him from Iwobi. He's touched to Richarlison, puts it behind him. He tried a cute little intricate back heel. He could have just keep it simple. But here goes Jordan Henderson. He's round Gomez very, very easy. It's a nice touch from Henderson. He tries to switch the play over to Trent, and it doesn't come off. Trent will probably keep this in. No, he doesn't. He lets it run out for a throw. But Everton had a great opportunity there. They really did, but they tried to be too cute. Simple. Simple is often best. Simple is often best. Terry, in your opinion, which Everton player could walk into the Liverpool first team? None. I don't even know if any of these Everton players could get onto Liverpool's bench. The left back, maybe. That's it. This Everton team has no major quality. Like Pickford can make the bench. Like he's better than Adrian, but that no Everton player gets anywhere near this Liverpool team. Here we go. Trent down this right-hand side. He's got Firmino is making this lovely darting run to create space. Trent's ball's over here. That's going to be a goal kick to Everton. 37 minutes on the clock. Everton playing a dangerous game, passing out from the back. You know how good Liverpool are with that high press. The amount of goals you've seen them score in the Premier League from it. Now here's Gordon. Gordon finds him with a little bit of space. He's got Calvert-Lewin that he can pass to. He looks a little bit offside. He plays it through Van Dijk. He tries to play a lovely ball through there to Richarlison. It's cut out very well by Virgil van Dijk. That's why Van Dijk's the best defender in the world. He just reads that situation. The pass from Gordon wasn't even that bad. The problem is Van Dijk saw it in his sleep. Van Dijk was basically like Rayman, like calculating mathematical possibilities there. He understood it. He's almost like Van Dijk's almost like almost as a PhD in physics when it comes to reading the game. He knows where that ball is going to be played. He knows the balance of probability of particular passes being played, so he positions himself right. And it's probably a sort of a deep lying knowledge that he has that he probably can't even explain how he does it. He'll just say, yeah, I just understand it. Like reading the damn Matrix. You can't be taught to do it. You can just either do it or it doesn't. You know, it's one of them things. Why he's so good? It's his reading of the game, which is just absolutely astoundingly good. It really, really is. But please do me a big, big favor, everybody. Please share this stream right now on your social media platforms. It'd be amazing to us if you could get that done. I think we've now hit for the evening and for the night. Now we're close to 30,000 viewers who have tuned in, which is great, and nearly 100 new subscribers to the platform, which is amazing. It really is. Someone here saying, calm down, Terry, he just cleared the ball. Yeah, but I'm telling you, he does it with such regularity. He reads the game. He understands the angles. He understands the probability of what passes are going to be played. You know, he knows, okay, well, I've got this guy in front of me. I've got a guy running behind. But the angle, this angle, that angle, this is narrow. That's wide. The ball's going to probably go here. So he positions himself right. Michael Carrick, by the way, had that ability in abundance with no. Here goes Firmino, picked up the ball. Oh, he tries to feed Naby Keita in, but his pass is slightly undercooked. Iwobi here in the ball now. Plays it out wide right to Richarlison, who's running. He's got Van Dijk there with him. Is he going to try and take Van Dijk on? No, he doesn't. He bottles it. Doesn't try and get past Van Dijk. He's then dispossessed from the ball. And what a waste of time. What a waste of our time watching this young man play. Giving it the big one. Oh, that touch and turn by Mane is world class. He's bearing down. Oh, he's taken out as well by Michael Keane. That's a certain yellow card for him. But what a touch and turn that was from Mane. That's an air of brilliance there. That isn't about system. That isn't a system that does that. That's just about having quality. He touches the ball, but it doesn't take the pace off it. So he looks. So most players would touch the ball there, with what Mane was doing, and take the speed of it. He doesn't. He gets a very slight touch that then puts the ball through Coleman's legs, and then he just twists and turns him. Absolutely wonderful. Michael Keane, I don't even think he meant to foul him. He just couldn't get anywhere near Mane. Nowhere near him at all. Free kick in a dangerous position. You've got Jordan Henderson and Trent standing over this. For me, this is a Trent free kick all day long. 40 minutes on the clock. 5 minutes until the half-time period. Remember, we're live after the game for the match reaction show. Can't wait to see you on that. Going to have a few Liverpool fans coming on to do fan cams. We will open the lines up to the general public as well again tonight. Trent hits it. Oh, good save there by Pickford. Not a bad hit. Not a bad hit by Trent. Not one of his best. But not one of his best. Calvert-Lewin loses the ball. Ball goes out for a throw. There's going to be a substitution made here. Joe Gomez looks like he's coming on. And it's James Milner who's picked up the injury. So this will be interesting. What will we see? Trent go to left back and Gomez go to right back? Potentially. This will be an interesting one to see how this one pans out. Milner looks really frustrated. It looks for the moment like Gomez has gone to that left back position. Let's see how he does. I mean, they haven't really threatened too much anyway. Davis here is going to be dispossessed. Oh, he just gets away with it. Everton are dilly-dallying on this ball in their own half so much against the best front pressing team in the Premier League. It just doesn't make any sense. It makes zero sense to me why Everton are trying to play like this. Dilly-dallying on the ball. I know they were playing long ball very early on. That wasn't working. So now they're trying to play through Liverpool, and it isn't happening. They've got to find a balance, but they've just got to find a balance between the two. They've just got to find a balance between the two. That's it. And not doing that as it currently stands. Is Henderson, who crosses the ball out here, switches the play to Van Dijk. Van Dijk back to Matip. Matip here finds Trent, who's very wide and high up on the right-hand side. Back to Jordan Henderson. Everton are just keeping their shape. Very negative, very defensive, but very hard to break down. Naby Keita, who's not really been involved much in this game. I haven't seen much at all from Naby Keita. Seen lots of Henderson, lots of Trent, Firmino, not so much from him, but that's a nice one too. Oh, it's lovely. Naby Keita, he finds Mane. Could this be the breakthrough they need? Minamino! Oh, it's well blocked by Holgate. A lot of that stems as well. Brilliant play there by Naby Keita. Absolutely brilliant by Naby Keita. 2 1-2s, one after the other. They work the ball into the box. Mane's then found on the left. He squares the ball to Minamino, turns and shoots, and Holgate gets that last-ditch block in. Liverpool are starting to turn the screw here. And that's what you need when you've got a player in midfield that can drive. That's something that Naby Keita brings to the team that I don't think Jordan and Gini have. And if they can keep him fit, could be very influential in Liverpool retaining their title next season. That was excellent from Naby Keita. Here's Trent again. Oh, Trent just knocks the ball into the channel here. Holgate's chasing it. He can't take any risks. He has to knock it out for a throw-in. Good territory gain there by Liverpool. Almost about to find half time here. Only really a couple of openings for Liverpool in this game. Nothing other than that early Richarlison chance. It's a bit of a disappointing game, to be fair. But maybe that should have been expected, because although it's a derby, it's a dead rubber. Everton are pretty much safe. Liverpool practically won the league. Pickford here goes for a long kick, and it's Alisson who picks it up. Naby Keita here. Naby Keita. The way he just turned Gomez there was almost embarrassing. It's like he wasn't there. Finds Henderson on the inside, who now switches to play to Gomez on the left. Gomez uses his right foot to find Firmino, who's anchoring that central midfield position. The ball comes out here to Trent. Trent comes inside. Back to They're just going to play this ball around. I think anything's going to happen between now and the end of the half. But Everton will certainly be concerned here. They'll certainly be concerned. Here goes Van Dijk. To Keita. Henderson. It dinks over back towards Van Dijk, but it's taken out there. 20 seconds to go. Gomez has the ball, but he's dispossessed by Naby Keita. Liverpool just pass his ball around now for the next 10 seconds or so. See this first half out. And overall, I would say disappointing. Really disappointing first half for me. There we go. Half-time whistle's blown. Liverpool 0, Everton 0 at Goodison Park. And a bit of a bore draw, really. Neither and do you know what this is why? This game is why, though. I wasn't overly frustrated at my club on Friday night against Tottenham, because it's going to take a game or so for people to really find their feet again. It truly, truly is. But what's your thoughts and feelings? You can call in right now. The link is inside the description below. You can give us a call. You can come on and get involved. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to know what your thoughts were on the game. We'll answer those calls. We'll see what's being said, etc. Make sure, by the way, do me a favor, go across to Hot Mic right now. Please share the stream. That'd be amazing if you could do that. It really, really would. Let's see some comments here. Everton won't run the 90 minutes. Salah off the bench to win it is what Dwayne thinks. That's a pretty good shout, to be fair, Dwayne. I wouldn't say it's too bad an opinion at all. What do you expect with no Salah and you have Henderson in midfield? Henderson's done a good. I think Henderson's been one of Liverpool's best players today. You know, he's been positive when he's been in possession. He's supported the flank areas that he needs to when of course Trent moves forward. I think Naby Keita, he had an odd little moment. It was good. It's just been difficult to break this Everton team down who have sat very deep. They've had 2 solid banks of 4. There's barely any room in between the midfield and the defence, and it makes it hard to operate in those areas. And, barring a good block from Holgate, you would have taken the lead. And what I would say is this, other than a little mistake made by Fabinho very early on in the game, Everton have done nothing. But this is the thing about football. If you make a mistake and it leads to nothing, nobody cares and speaks about it. So, Liverpool make one mistake and they get away with it. We saw on Friday, of course, Man United, Tottenham, one mistake by Man United, and that was almost like the major talking point of the game because it's what turned it. Sometimes you get away with these things. Clearly, Bergwijn, he had an easier angle, but he's better than Richarlison. Terry Watts Keita, this is a game to prove himself. Look, he needs to do it in more than one game. He had some good movements, some good passes. That little interchange in the 1-2s to create the openings that almost led to Minamino scoring was excellent. But I want to see that 5-6 times a game. I think that's fair to say from a player like him. However, credit where credit's due. He did well in that moment, and I'm not going to judge him any differently from any other player. It's going to take him time to find his feet again, especially with how long he's been out injured. I don't think we should be discounting that from the play. I really do not. Let's just go over and take a look and see what Twitter's saying right now in relation to this game, see what's being said. It says here, Anthony Gordon has created 2 chances in the first half versus Liverpool. No player on the pitch has created more. Did he? I don't remember those chances that he created. Let's see a few more comments here. James Pierce on Twitter says, half-time, scrappy and disjointed at Goodison Park. Liverpool have been the better team with Keita and Minamino producing some decent moments, but in general, little quality in the final third. Loss of Milner to a hamstring injury is a blow. I agree with that completely. Liverpool, what I say, Naby Keita been unreal in this first half. I think Danny's been unreal is overstretching. It's an overstretch. There was that one good moment he had with the 1-2s. There was also a really good turn as well against Gomez. Unreal. See, that's weird for me. It's weird for me. A couple of good moments doesn't make it an unreal performance. Let's not overhype it for what it is. By the way, if he does that 2 or 3 more times and it leads to the goals, then yeah, it's been a great game. But let's see what pans out. But I would probably say that Naby's been the best player on the pitch, followed by Henderson, followed by Minamino. That would be my view as it stands right now. See a few more of the comments here. Keita, Minamino, and Mane have all looked bright, encouraging. What Matt thinks on Twitter. Let's see a few more comments here. I want some opinions, really. Jurgen Klopp taking a leaf out of Brendan Rodgers' book by sticking Joe Gomez at left back. Haven't seen that for a while. Yeah, maybe that's in training. I don't know. Joe Gomez at left back gives me the fear, is what the official FNG says. I wouldn't let it worry you. I wouldn't worry about that at all. Nothing's going to happen. Everton are not going to do anything. Everton Honestly, if someone offered Everton a draw before the game begun, they'd take it. They're getting nowhere near Liverpool in this game. Nowhere near. Honestly, if I was you, it wouldn't even be a concern in my mind. I wouldn't be worried about it. I wouldn't be thinking about it. I wouldn't be stressing about it. They'll do nothing. Jimmy says Naby has been so good. I think he's been good. I think he's been the best player on the pitch. I think he's been good. I'd even argue say very good at times. But someone saying he's been unreal makes it sound like we've just seen a standout Premier League performance. We haven't. Let's put things into perspective. Mane, Terry. Yeah, Mane's been okay. Mane's run. This is what I mean is, Mane had that good run where the ball went through someone's legs and got fouled. That one run doesn't make a half. For me, Naby Keita's had 2 or 3 really good moments. His play has been good. He's won the ball back on a couple of occasions very, very well. I think Henderson's been very, very good on the ball as well. Minamino's been very tricky. He's created some openings. There's been some good dummies by him. But I would rate all the players. They're the best. They're the best 4. But I'd only give them all right now 6.5s out of 10. None of them are putting in 8 or 9 out of 10 performances right now. But the second half is important to focus on and look at. What do I think about Minamino? Yeah, bright, good. Bright and good. But as I say, I wouldn't rate any of them above a 6.5 right now. Mane, of course, created 2 chances in that game, which is very, very good. It really, really is. 3 dribbles have been completed by him as well. He's had a good game in relation to that. He has, and I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but 6.5 to 7, maybe 7's at a push. But other than that, I would say no. They've got to do a lot more to get themselves into that position. In my eyes, for it to be rated in that way. Chebs here says it's not unreal. Exactly. I'd say unreal is an overstatement. A real overstatement. Jordan, I'm very good. Thank you for asking, my friend. Firmino should have played Keita. But I understand why he didn't. He wants goals. Yeah, of course. And look, you can't bemoan a player for taking an attempt on goal. Because you know what? If every time he had a chance to shoot, he just passed it, he'd also get called a bottle job. Like, sometimes players can't win, especially ones that don't score lots of goals. Box to Box says here, Liverpool rarely win at Goodison. 1 win in the last 7 at Goodison. So although they barely lose, almost always drop points. Why do they sprinkle the grounds? They sprinkle the grounds because the wetter the surface, the quicker the ball moves. Sometimes when you go to some of the real small, like the real sort of spit and sawdust clubs, like you go to a Burnley, they won't water the pitches. That way the better teams can't move the ball around as quickly. That's why it's done, as a general rule. Terry, do you think Liverpool will win the league next season? Yes, as it stands right now, I think Liverpool will do it, especially if we see Liverpool, Man City's ban come to fruition. If Man City's ban happens, then for me, 110%, that will lead to Liverpool Football Club winning the league again. I don't think Chelsea, I don't think Man United, I don't think anybody else up there can catch them. Only Man City. But if Man City fall out of the Champions League, I believe they'll lose 2 or 3 of their top players, and that will make it nigh on impossible for anybody to catch them. Newcastle shocked me today. Perhaps more Sheffield United were poor. Oh, look, I'll give credit to Newcastle for what they've done. I haven't actually seen the game. I just saw the results in relation to that. But look, Sheffield United have had a stellar season. There've been 6 points available for them, and of course they were robbed in that first game back. They had a goal that went in that wasn't given, but they walk away with 1 point out of a possible 6 points. And do you know what? They probably would have felt that 4 points was nearer their expectation for that. I know 6 points drops make it very difficult for them to get into that top 4. It really does. Top 5, they could still do it. But, of course, their next game is Man United. So they could end up in a situation, Sheffield United could end up in a situation where they go, and I think they will, there'll be 3 games into the return of the season. And I think that you're going to find that they're going to walk away with No, 1 point only. And then their game after that, if we look at Sheffield United, their game after that, so they play Manchester United next away at Old Trafford. It's going to be so hard for them. Then they play Arsenal. Then they play Tottenham. Like, conceivably here, Sheffield United, from a possible 15 points, could have 1. Like, they could end up with 1 point. And although Arsenal were in a poor position, by the time they play them, there could be an element of their own confidence is gone. So, yeah, it's a real interesting one for me to see what happens. And you think in the build-up to this, you know, they literally won such a great run. You know, they narrowly were beaten in January in the League Cup by, in the Premier League by Man City. They went on a great run where they beat Millwall 2-0, beat Palace 1-0, beat Bournemouth 2-1. They drew with Brighton, which they wouldn't have been happy with. They beat Reading in the FA Cup. They beat Norwich, beat Hull I'm not sure what competition that was in, but they beat Hull. That was in a friendly, sorry. That doesn't even matter. They beat Norwich, but since then they haven't come back and they haven't been the same team. Terry Carr here says Liverpool are too far ahead for all the rest of the Premier League at the moment, and I cannot see it changing next year. Sheffield United are the surprise team. They definitely are the surprise team this year, and I agree with you. Liverpool will win the league next season. I'm pretty sure of it anyway, but for me it becomes almost a certainty if Man City get this ban, because they will lose big players. Are you Ollie in or Ollie out? I'm Ollie in, 110%. Jordan here says Pep made a mistake at not buying a centre-back last summer. That really cost them the league. I think that's oversimplifying it. I think that's part of it, and they got the injuries. But they didn't replace the leadership of the company. And I think mentally, once they fell beyond 8 points behind Liverpool early on, I think they gave up. I think there was an element of we spent 2 years fighting for our back-to-back titles. It's exhausted us. Do we have the mental strength to go for another title challenge? No. And I think by the time they kind of refound their focus again, the gap was too big. The gap was far too big. So, yeah, it's an interesting one, but no, not for me. It's done. Terry, you have said numerous times you like Ollie, but don't think he is good enough as a manager. Flip-flop him. No. Let me explain it to you in simple English. I've changed my mind as to whether or not I think he's good enough or not. So if you want to call changing your mind flip-flopping, okay. But we are allowed to change our mind in the world. You know, we can change our opinions on people, players, managers. I can now see what he's building behind the scenes. I've listened to what a lot of people internally have said, and I'm willing to get behind him. Am I convinced he's good enough to make us Premier League champions? No. But I think he's imperative for Man United's growth for the next 12 to 18 months, regardless. I'll say 12 months because it's only about another year left after this. So from my point of view, I'm fully behind what Ollie is trying to rebuild, the culture that he's putting back into the football club. Do I think he's a good enough manager? Only time's going to tell, but I'm not sold on that. You can't hold and harbour both those thoughts without need to be Ollie out. And the Ollie out brigade, by the way, are a bunch of fake Man United fans anyway. Andre P, of course, you're going to have a shout out, my friend. Oh, it looks like Oxlade-Chamberlain's going to be coming on here for Liverpool. I wonder for who. Why do I have a little feeling that it might end up being... Why do I have this little feeling that it might end up being Naby Keita who comes off, you know? And that might just be precautionary for a fitness point of view. I'm just going to put my legs up here for a bit because I've got a bit of cramp. I'll move myself to this position here. I can move the mic now so I can do this. But who's going to be coming off? Will it be Naby Keita? That's the big question. I think it might be Naby Keita coming off, you know? Could be. Is it Minamino? I can't hear the commentary, so I don't know. Be interesting if it is Minamino. But this is the thing. I don't think we can read too much into starting lineups. You know, Tammy Abraham didn't start today as an example. And I think a lot of that was thinking about the game. Games are coming thick and fast. If you look here at the Premier League, you know, Sheffield United play today as an example. They play again in 3 days' time. You know, Liverpool are playing right now. Oh, yeah, it is Minamino. Liverpool are playing right now, and they play again on Wednesday. They literally play in 3 days' time again. You know, it's every 2 to 3 days now teams are playing. Literally every 2 to 3 days, these individuals have got games. And that in itself is is difficult to manage. So, yeah, it kind of makes sense. I thought Minamino was having a good half. But let's now see what happens as we move forward. Second half begins. Here we go. I want a bit of fire in his second half. I want to see a bit of something. I want to see a little something from these teams. I really do. Entertain me. Someone said, nah, Endo off. No, I think it's Minamino who's been taken off. We already know Milner's come off. Second, is it 5 subs you can use now? That's a great thing as well. With the 5 substitutions, it makes it so easy. Oxlade-Chamberlain now is attacking. He's coming on that right-hand side. Do me a big favor, please, ladies and gentlemen. Please download Hot Mic. Please hit the like button and share this stream on your social media platforms. It'd be amazing to me if you could do that. A comment here says, I actually want Liverpool to keep tripping, not going to lie. Well, okay. If you're not a Liverpool fan, that makes sense. Quite split on the support today for different clubs inside the chat here. It's so interesting to read. It really is. Sean says, I hope the 5 subs per game continues into the new season. It adds a whole new dimension to the game. It does, but I don't think it will. It won't be voted in by enough of the teams. You have to get, for any kind of long-term protocol change, you have to get 14 clubs to decide on it. None of the smaller clubs, which means if you have 6 that say no, it's over and done with. None of the smaller clubs are going to vote for that rule to come in. They can't. The smaller clubs would never be able to compete. The smaller clubs would never be able to compete at all. They'd lose so many more games than they do now because teams like Liverpool, Man City, Man United could just bring on 5 top players as opposed to 3. It'd be too much. They don't have the strength in depth to be able to do that. The come on Everton comments aren't Everton fans. Lol. Oh, definitely not. They're definitely not Everton fans. I don't know if we've ever had an Everton fan on the channel. Gomez is really far forward. That's a really good tackle there by Seamus Coleman to put the ball out for Liverpool corner here. 78 minutes on the clock. Okay, so I said, I'm not an Everton fan, I'm a Man United fan. But of course, listen, Liverpool got rivals. Headed goals this season. Liverpool got the most with 14. Everton are actually second with 11. Ball's crossed in. Pickford gets his hand to it and punches it away. Everton looking to try and spring a counter-attack here. That's a lovely pass to Gordon, but his control is awful. His control is really, really awful. Andre thinks it's going to be a Richarlison own goal. A Richarlison own goal would be so poetic. It would be so poetic, wouldn't it? It really would be poetic. Oxlade-Chamberlain's touch lets him down there, and that runs out for an Everton goal kick. Here we are, nearly 50 minutes on the clock, still 0-0. Everton versus Liverpool, Merseyside derby. Another big game. There's been so many big games since the season begun. So many shocks and twists and turns already. Everton's still trying to pass out from the back. And then they just go long anyway. So weird. So weird. They're being made to take it again. Liverpool got their high press ready. They're going to go long with it. Just kick it long anyway. You've struggled to pass past Liverpool all game. Ball's gone long. Back in Liverpool's possession here. It's a lovely turn there by Mane. That is not a foul by Seamus Coleman there. Never a foul in a million years. Sometimes I think the really skillful players get a bit too much respect given to them by referees. Along the lines of, oh, it looks 50-50, but he's so good, no one ever really tackles him, so it must have been a foul. I always used to feel like that way with Messi. Like if you lean on Messi, you barge Messi. If you do win the ball off Messi, the natural reaction is to think, well, you must have fouled him to get it because he's so good. Man, the man that fouls, here goes Naby Keita. Oh, lovely. Naby Keita! Oh, that was almost lovely. He plays the ball in there. See, that's something that Naby Keita has that no other Liverpool midfielder does. Picks the ball up. Sort of 25 yards out. First time touching to Firmino. Firmino's chest back to him is majestic. It's beautiful. It's silky. The finish is poor. But it's that give and go. That give and go and that penetrative run, which gives Liverpool a different dimension when he's playing. It really does. But needs the end product. Oh, they're trying to pass out from the back again here, Everton. Look at that press by Liverpool. It's excellent. It's just back with the goalkeeper again now. Now he's under pressure and he goes long. All that nonsense and putting yourself under pressure, you kick it long. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. It's like properly stupid. Here goes Gomez down the left. Finds Mane. Jordan Henderson down the left-hand side. He's got Gomez in front of him. He plays it to him. Iwobi's there for cover. Everton are all back. Every Everton player is in their own half here. They're being pinned in. Lovely backheel pass there by Jordan Henderson and Mane. It's going to be a goal, a foul being given in the other direction. See, again, a foul's given there against Mane. I didn't think that was a foul either. Come on. This is a contact sport, God damn it. Allow a little bit of contact. Everton take us through. Everton, they're doing nothing. I said that earlier on. They weren't going to do anything. And they're still not doing anything. And they won't do anything. Here's Iwobi. Iwobi switches the play here. Oh, it's lovely header there by Firmino. If you don't see what Firmino brings to the game, it's amazing. Mane runs into the box. Goal kick given here. Really good defending by Seamus. Seamus Coleman, by the way, considering he's up against Mane, who most would pick as the best left-sided attacker, left-sided inside forward in the Premier League. He's had a very good game against him. And look, Coleman was a good player, but obviously not, well past his best. Terry, do you think Ireland has what it takes to get to the Euros next year? It's easier to get to European qualification now than it ever has been before. So maybe Calvert-Lewin challenging Van Dijk there for the ball. Van Dijk just says, "Move, bruv." Literally says, "Move, bruv." Everton are being dominated right now. Here's Firmino again. Joe Gomez wide on the left, goes to square it. It's cut out by Holgate, and then Seamus Coleman clears it for a Liverpool throw high on the left-hand side of the attack. And I tell you now, Liverpool are starting to knock on this door. They're beating on this door hard. Where are my ancestors from? France, I think. France and Ireland. Here goes Firmino into the box. Iwobi wicks it. Iwobi's been pushed back so deep, he's practically playing as a right back. Liverpool's right back is more like a creative, attacking, wide playmaker. the right midfielder for Everton is more like a bloody fullback. Pinned. WWF pinned, bruv. Oh, Henderson's cross just over the head there of Mane. Iwobi tries to kick it clear and run onto his own sort of clearance, but goes out for a Liverpool throw here. Nothing happening at all. Nothing happening at all. Daniel Thomas here says, everyone looks rusty, but that's expected. Yeah, I agree. It is expected. You know, there isn't anything that's really going on right now that I would say is a shock. There's nothing on here that I would say shocking or, oh, that's disappointing. It's all pretty, much of a muchness. Much of what we would expect. Gylfi Sigurdsson's coming on here. First substitution of the day for Everton. Liverpool here, the most devastating team in the air this season in the Premier League with 14 goals. Ball's whipped in by Trent. Van Dijk gets there. Not enough power on it. Matip was following it up. But keep applying this pressure, Liverpool. The goal's coming. Oh, God. They're trying to play it from the back again here, Everton. If you're an Everton fan, it just must be so nerve-wracking to watch. Just whip the ball into the box at Everton. Easy for Ellison. Ellison hasn't been tested. How disappointing for a derby that Everton can't even get up for it. Can't even get up for it. Oxlade-Chamberlain here. Gets the ball back to Trent. Trent plays it back to Jordan Henderson, who's always covering in that flank. He goes back to the goalkeeper just to enable the play to be switched here simplistically. It's Van Dijk out to Gomez. Of course, the centre-back playing at left-back because Robertson's out. And Milner that started went off injured. Here's Henderson wide on the right with Trent. He's looking for the overlap. Trent crosses early. It's an excellent cross. Michael Keane has to clear. That's going to be another Liverpool corner. And we know how dangerous Liverpool can be from these set pieces. We really, really know. Substitution now being made. Gordon's being brought off. Not a bad game from the young man. Again, he might have created a couple of chances, but they weren't. I think his passes led to shots as opposed to him actually opening teams up. It weren't no big chances that he created. Ball being crossed in here. It's whipped in. Oh, just taken off of Van Dijk's head there. Just. Liverpool whipped here. Trent down to Henderson. Henderson crosses into the box. That's cleared. Everton trying to see if they can counter. Half a chance here. It's been played over to Richarlison. Richarlison's got half an opportunity here. He takes it. He shoots. Oh, he balloons it. Richarlison balloons it. All that hype. All that mouth. That's the opportunity. There's a hole at the back. There's no Van Dijk. He should have done so much better. Of course, he has Gomez breathing down his neck. Matip covered it well. But that's poor. See, that's poor. That's how you know that's the lack of quality. His touch isn't bad. Oh, maybe he takes one too many touches, but the shot is absolutely disgusting. It's a disgusting shot. Mane's here. He's got Firmino in some space. Some space. No way. That wasn't a foul. He won the ball there. Didn't he won the ball? That's a terrible decision by the referee. Wow. Mane gets brought down. Free kick in a dangerous position. Very scoreable position here for Liverpool. Let's wait for the replay, but that looked like a clean tackle to me. Oh, it's a great tackle. How is that given as a foul, referee? Shocking. Absolutely brilliant tackle there. I don't even know how he's missed it. The change in direction of the ball, ref. Madness. Absolute madness of a decision. You know they're going to score from this, don't you? You know Liverpool are going to score from this because that's how football works. Football is the most beautiful, romantic, frustrating script that you could ever imagine for. Hollywood couldn't write something as good as this. But Trent stands up. Trent's going to bury it. Trent's going to bury this. It's going to be controversial. Liverpool will be trending. I don't think VAR can overturn decisions like that, though. Trent! Oh, deflects and goes over. Corner. Still an opportunity here, though. Still an opportunity here to be had. Cleared there by Everton from the corner. 63 minutes on the clock. Nice pass there for Firmino. Mane crosses. It's deep. Oh, that's got to be a foul. Foul is given. Come on, we need a couple of bad tackles now. We need, the one good thing about a couple of bad tackles, nothing that's going to endanger anybody, but a couple of bad tackles. It looks like, is that Genie Wijnaldum coming on? Yeah, Genie's about to come into the fray. Is it be off? Henderson or Kate are coming off? Free kick here to Liverpool. They're going to wait. They're going to make the substitutes. Naby Keita coming off. Also got Divock Origi coming into the fray as well. See, Liverpool here, they don't need to... The thing for Liverpool is they don't even need to win. I know they'd love to win the next 2 games and secure this title, but they're still probably going to break the points total regardless. 82 points. They get a draw today. It'd be 83 points. There'll be 8 games remaining. So what does that do? What is 8 times 3? There's still 24 points remaining. They could smash that points total. And I think they will. What Liverpool don't want to do is go all guns blazing into these opening couple of games if players aren't fit, if players aren't ready, and then injure people. Because remember, the new season is going to come around a lot quicker than we normally get it. You know, we saw what's happened to Arsenal. And now I know Leno's situation come from that little push. But Arsenal have lost potentially 3 players that are going to be out until November time. Plus, Leno could be out for the entire season. Liverpool don't want to do that to their players. You have to now start thinking about next season as well. Oh, I know that they can still get 107 points, Liverpool, if they draw this game, 107, 108, whatever it may be. What's the record? Is it 100 points? What is the record? Because that's what Liverpool are going to go for. And I know Liverpool fans care about that record. Wijnaldum coming forward here. Premier League points total history. Was it 98 points? I swear they did over 100 points. I can't be. This is three months old. So what is it? Let me just see the list. Yeah, 100 points is the record. I mean, they'll want to break that. They only need 19 points from the end. Yeah, they're going to do that easy. They're going to do that easy. It's 100 points. Cool. Henderson here. They're just starting to move this ball a lot quicker. Everton are looking tired. They're not creating. They're being pinned back all the time. Nothing much going on. See, the thing is, this is meant to be a big game. This game is dead, bruv. Like, this game is properly dead. And I'm not even trying to be salty. It's just dead. Drinks break here. It's going to kill it up even more. It's going to make it even worse. Even worse. Right, game's about to restart again now. Just want something to happen. Just want something to happen. Because nothing's happening. Like, nothing's happening. This game is dead. Eye test here says, watch the Real Sociedad game today. Watch Isaac. Eye test. Bruv, is he even going to start? I actually looked at the last game that Real Sociedad were playing in just to see. Man didn't start. It's hard, it's hard to do the eye test when the man's sitting on the bench, bro. Pauline Garcia. Okay, you guys are chatting to each other. I'll let you guys do what you got to do. You guys chat to one another. It's all good. It's part and parcel of what we're here for. Oh, he's starting. Okay, cool. I'll have a little bit of a watch. You think he's better than Haaland? Cool. And by the way, he can look better. He can look better. He can feel better. His touch can be better. His passing can be better. His dribbling can be better. If he ain't creating and scoring the goals, he ain't better. It's as simple as that, bro. Oh, injury here. Matip's gone down. It's don't look good. Something's gone. Oh, he's got to take his boot off. Something's gone. Let's see. It might be, if he's been trodden on, it looks like a metatarsal. I thought it might have been his Achilles at the start. It might be the toe. Let's see. They might show a replay. They might not. The replay will give us the information we need, though. He's putting his boot back on, so it looks like he's okay. He's going to try and run it off. He's just sort of jogging up and down here. Another break to this game, though, is not what we need. We didn't need this game to be held up again. Jeez. We really didn't need that. Oh, it's a good play here. Here's the Ox. He wins the ball back. Oh, he's passed, though. It's behind Gomez. Those breaks have really killed the flow and the momentum of the game as it stands right now. Can Everton muster something up? Remember, this is Everton's cup final. This is all they've got to play for this season. It's getting a result out of this game. And why am I getting the sense? Why am I getting the sense here, Everton fans, that you'd just be happy? That you'd just be happy with a draw. How the mighty have fallen. How the mighty have fallen. It's a nice touch there by Mane. Got Dan Thomas calling the show here. Dan, let everyone know what team you support. What do you want to say? Oh, mate, it's really quiet. Something's wrong with your mic. All right, cool. All right, mate. Thank you. That was well quiet. I couldn't hear him at all. Here goes Oxlade-Chamberlain. Finds Genie in the middle. Genie's got a bit of space to run into, but he's closed down well here. He's passed to Gomez. Is poor. It's behind him. Gomez keeps it in, though. Henderson tries a dink over. That's not great. But the thing is, this is like attack versus defense. Everton are trying nothing. I suppose the question I would pose to Everton fans, are you happy with this? Are you happy seeing your team do this? Trying to counter here. Calvert-Lewin on the ball. Being marshalled there by Lovren. He's got a player on the overlap. Underlap more than anything. Gomez. Davis here in possession. He now squares the ball to Coleman. But Liverpool find their shape. So they're on a counter-attack, Everton. The ball's now back with the goalkeeper. Oh, it does my head in. Show some invention. Show some balls. Show something. But Charleston's given it absolute Billy Big Boy before the game. And your team are weak. Weak, bruv. This is your derby. This is your cup final. Calvert-Lewin's been given us offside here. He finishes it, though. What happens if he's onside, though? Oh, he's well off. What happens if he's onside? Yeah, he's well off. He's offside by about a country mile, bruv. Why no Salah? I didn't really read too much about this game in the build-up to it, but he must have had a knock or something this week. Maybe he hasn't completed a 4 weeks training like a few people have said that called up the show in the preview. But, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Aidan Andrews, you're right. This game is poor. And look, we've seen a lot of poor games since the league has returned. I'm not going to deny that, but this has been the worst so far. It has been dreadful. Dreadful. It's like neither team really want to win. There's been a few sparky moments, a couple of good bits from Mane, a couple of good bits from Keita in the first half and early on in the second half, but it has been devoid. Everton have made it easy, though, by the way they've played, the way they've sat back, the way they've just sucked the life out of this game like a goddamn leech. Gomez here dispossesses Genie. It's nice footwork from him. Plays it into the channel for Richarlison. Richarlison's got to work hard to pick this up. Can he create something? He's being stood up here. Oh, Calvert-Lewin, lovely. Davis! Oh, they nearly score. At last, some invention in this game. What a save. Calvert-Lewin with a wonderful flick. He took Van Dijk out of the game with it. Excellent save there by Alisson. That's why you have a great goalkeeper. What a goal that would have been. Davis follows up. Oh, he hits the post. Van Dijk puts it out for a corner kick. Was it a save? Oh, Joe Gomez gets the block on the ball. A few people are calling it lucky. That's not lucky. That isn't lucky. That's fantastic. That is fantastic work there. Oh, Calvert-Lewin at the back post. Nearly gets his head on the ball. It's going to be a goal kick. At last, the game comes to life. At last, there's a bit of invention. At last, we're seeing a little bit of fight from Everton. Will that spark? The question is now, will that spark Liverpool into life? Will that bring Liverpool to the floor? To the floor now? Or will Everton now have the confidence? Hang on a minute, we can hurt them. You know, there's a great scene from Rocky where he cuts him. And suddenly Rocky realizes that he's not fighting a machine, he's fighting a man. Maybe that's Everton's moment today. Now, Stephen, Liverpool weren't lucky that didn't go in. It was a great save from Alisson and a great piece of defending. Those things have to be congratulated. It's like saying, you never call a defender unlucky when somebody scores a world-class goal against them. So when it's world-class goalkeeping or world-class defending, we've got to give that some credit too. Oh, Lovren's poor there. Richarlison's got an opportunity again. Can he find Calvert-Lewin? Richarlison shoots! It's a good save! Oh, he held on to the ball too long. It's twice now. Lovren is a donkey, bruv. Lovren is a donkey. Lovren is a donkey. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, wow. Seamus Coleman's pulled up for a foul there in Divock Origi. It's never a foul in a million years. But Everton here are starting to knock on this door a little bit more. But it's now livening up a bit, this game. We go into the last 10 minutes, but there will be a lot of time added on as well. There will be a lot of time added on to this game. Remember that. Remember that. Here we go. Liverpool now just need to sort themselves out. It's Lovren though, mate. That Maguire is janky. Janky. Van Dijk goes long here, looking for Divock Origi. It's over his head. It's good press there, though, by Divock Origi. Wonderful. Helps to win the ball back to Liverpool high. Here's Trent. Oh, it's a great tackle there on Trent. Here's Calvert-Lewin. He's got a lot to do. Davis is found in the middle, surrounded by red shirts. He has to go backwards. There's nobody in front of him to pass to. And that's what you tend to see all the time in these situations. All the time in these situations, you see stuff like that happen. Pickford goes long here. Lovren's touch is good. Trent, though. Trent gives the ball away really poorly. Davis switches the play here. Really poor pass from Davis. I don't even know what he was trying to do there. Nice little 1-2 of Alisson and Joe Gomez. Liverpool now play out. Here's Fabinho, who, barring the opening 5 minutes where he was a little scrappy, has had a really good game of football. He really has. The Ox crosses the ball here. Divock Origi heads it down. It's Mane. Oh, he should have found Gomez at the edge of the box. He doesn't. That's great strength shown there by Gomez. But he loses out in the end. Seamus Coleman. Oh, badly clipped down. Going to pick up a book in there. Definite yellow card, but also that foul had to come in. He had to commit that foul. Yeah, debunk. Yet to stop the counter attack. It's a lovely bit of work in the air there by Calvert-Lewin. Lovely bit of work in the air. Liverpool going a little bit more direct and long now. Here's Oxlade-Chamberlain. Finds Trent on the right-hand side. He goes for the cross, but that's going to be a Liverpool corner. 86 minutes on the clock in this bore draw so far. Bore draw. Whatever it takes, my love, whatever it takes. Sorry, I know my singing isn't for everyone, to be fair. I know this. I do know this. Ball's crossed in. Lovren half there. Oh, Everton struggling to get it out. They do get it out in the end, though. Another substitution being made here. Number 20. Is that Bernard? Is that how you pronounce his name coming on? No, they've not made very many substitutions, Everton, which is interesting. You know, Liverpool made 5. I know a couple were kind of forced. But then you look at that bench, you know, you start looking at bench. Moise Keane hasn't come on. That's an interesting one. Maybe he could have done something. But I thought they'd have made some substitutions earlier in this game. Here you go, Leo Henderson's got some space here. He feeds it out to Trent on the right-hand side. Trent, all right, it's well tackled. Bernard picks the ball up. Everton trying to look at the counter-attack here, but they never move the ball with enough speed. Going long for Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin, lucky fouled Lovren there, but it come to nothing again. Like most of these attacks, they come to nothing. A good little minute or two spell, and that is it. Brought no fire today. Oh, the 50-50 there. I thought I was just about to cringe and wait for a bad tackle, but it didn't come. Nice pass. Mane picks it up. He loses, though. Opportunity for a counter-attack. It's Bernard. Look at that. Doesn't even try and dribble past the man. And then he's tackled. Shocking. Absolute shocking. You got fresh legs. You're up against players that have been out for 104, 105 days. You've got fresh legs, and you don't even have the balls to have a little dribble. It's a really good tackle there by Richarlison. He's now hurt himself, though. Moise Keane coming on here for literally 5 minutes. Almost feels disrespectful bringing him on for this amount of time. Seriously. Only 3 minutes of time added on as well. I think even the ref, I think the FA, I think the Premier League have said, look, let's just end this game now. It's been so... I actually think this has been one of the worst Premier League games I've ever seen in my life. When you consider it's a Merseyside derby as well, you don't expect it to be this bad. Shocking. Davis picks the ball up here and loses it straight away. Oh, Oxlade-Chamberlain, that's lovely. He's fouled by Richarlison on the edge of the box. That was lovely there by the Ox. See, a little bit of imagination, a little bit of something special there. That's what you want to see. Free kick here. Probably going to be the last kick of the game. Who's stepping up? What's Lovren doing over it? Oh, he's not asking to take it, but yeah, this game was bad. Bad. But we had last minute drama yesterday. Are we going to get last minute drama now? Oh, just over the bar. It's not a bad attempt by him. Not a bad attempt at all. Is it a corner? Yes, it is. It was a save by old T-Rex Arms. Seamus Coleman given man of the match. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. But the game has been terrible. Moise Keane hasn't even been able to get on. Madness. Moise Keane, though, picking up a little appearance bonus. Happy days for him. Be a few grand. What a shocking game of football. Shocking. Moise Keane gets his head to that. It's cleared by Lovren. And that's the end of the game. Listen, everyone who tuned in, massive thank you to all of you. Really do appreciate it. We're going to be doing goal review and fan cams live on the Football Terrace in the next 5 minutes. Stay tuned.